Check one. Check one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Turn that off. Turn that off. Kill that with fire. Are we live? 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 Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. My button's working?
Wow.
Richard McDonald, what's going on, man? How are you? Lex Steele, MBC, what's up, man? MBC straight out of the gates. How's the audio? How's the video? Where's my guest?
Back off, war child, seriously.
Sounding good, Lex Steele? Sounding okay? What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. I'm drinking water. I'm blowing it right now. Three Dogs Brewery, what's going on, man? How's everyone doing? Let's make the chat a little bit bigger. Let's blow this up. Hack Attack, what's going on? Let us know what's in your fermenters. Let us know what's in your what you guys are drinking right now. The Apartment Brewer, what's up, man? Sounding good. I got the Apartment Brewer coming on. Matt Prowins, what's going on? Shout out to everybody that's here right now. And I got the Apartment Brewer. We're trying to make more of a schedule of this thing. And I got Steven. Not in August. Apartment Steve, Wednesday the 15th. Check that out. Be sure to check that out. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing good. What's going on, Mike Nichols? What's going on? Yeah. Clawhammer, he's coming on right now. Let's rock and roll. Let's fill up some beers. Should we NBC it or what? He's we're starting a little bit earlier because he's East Coast. He's East Coast time, so we've got a 3-hour difference, so we're starting up a little bit. But it's Kyle from Clawhammer. Very excited. We talked a little bit yesterday about what we want to talk about what we don't want to talk about, and we've got some good stuff written down. And he's out there in Asheville, North Carolina.
Wow.
I think if you guys know of any other brew YouTube channels like Apartment Brewer, Homebrew for Life, you've probably heard of Clawhammer Supply. I would think. Mike Schneider, what's up, man? What's going on? Matt Prowitz, come on down.
Back off, war child, seriously.
Hack Attack. The Apartment Brewer, glad I can finally start catching up again. I know, I bet the East Coast people are stoked. It's just Paul. Let's go. Let's effing go. All right, let me see what's going on with... here we go. All right, he's ready. Let's pull him in. We're going to start the video call. Brandon Rogers, thank you. This is going to be dope. I'm looking forward to this. I think we're... Kyle, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, what's going on, dude?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to pull you in right now. Let me go to...
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to go to... We're going to go back to Streamlabs. Please nothing crash. Please nothing crash. And we're going to go to... Window capture. And we're going to go to Hoppy Dylan. No, we're going to go to Clawhammer. And there he is, just like that. How are you, man?
Yo, how you doing?
I'm always good. This is you got the portly gentleman setup going on back there, man. Vice City. I love it. Let me try to even this out just a wee bit. Whoa, there we go. So you're going to be able to see me on YouTube, kind of like what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah. I gotcha.
You got me. All right, man. You drinking beer?
Weird, but I can't. Yeah, but I can't see you. I can't see you in the Discord.
You can't see me in the Discord because I can only pull one microphone for my computer. I'm sorry, I can only pull one camera,
Gotcha.
So I've got to pull it in through Streamlabs. So I've got to disable it in Discord.
Sweet.
What's going on,
That's all
man?
good.
Dude, I'm stoked you're here.
Cool, yeah,
Wow.
I got a beer right here.
All right, let me crack a beer.
Cheers, yeah.
I'm blowing it.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. I don't think Kyle needs an introduction. This is Clawhammer. He's, one of the OGs. We were kind of talking about it a little bit yesterday. There was a kind of a older world of brew tubers, and you're one of the last guys left. You and I don't even think Short Circuited Brewers Channel is more than 4 or 5 years old, but you guys were around back in what, 2010?
No, we didn't start. Well, we didn't start putting videos, brewing videos online until probably like 2017. I want to say.
Oh, really?
But
Oh,
I think
yeah,
I
you had
started
the-
uploading, like distillation related content in 2009. So we felt like we were late to the party in 2017 or whenever we started.
Yeah, so we were kind of talking about the distilling thing a little bit yesterday and kind of how that all just kind of transitioned. But one thing that I did not know until you told me yesterday was that pretty much distilling's been illegal since Prohibition. But I watched your last video and you're talking about making essential oils and stuff like that. I mean, I just figured distilling was just illegal. Just I didn't know you could do other things with it that didn't include moonshine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can use the stills are useful for all sorts of things. I mean, they're just in the simplest form. They're useful for making distilled water, so you can
Right.
make some clean water and distilled water. Also good for other things. Just drinking, I guess, if you're trying to like sanitize some water. But yeah, you could distill essential oils, and if you have the proper permits, you can make fuel alcohol as well. You'd have to have state and federal permits for that, which I've had in the past. It's tied to a location. So although I've had a fuel alcohol permit in the past, I don't currently have one here in North Carolina because of the rules and regulations of the state. But we're like we were talking about yesterday, we're moving our warehouse to Tennessee, and
From Colorado?
we're hoping to have yeah, from Colorado. It's really easy to get a fuel alcohol permit in Colorado. In fact, they don't care. There's nothing you need to do. All you need is a federal permit. North Carolina, it's ridiculous, and Tennessee, it's easier.
Tennessee, it's easier. Yeah, don't do it in California. California's probably the worst state ever to have any form of permit or business or any old school American dream type of freedom. So I had a guy on here.
Yeah, highly.
Yeah, I highly don't recommend starting a business in California.
Yeah.
But sounds like you
Very regulated.
Very regulated, overly regulated. So we were talking a little bit about Brian Short Circuited and Larry and those guys doing live streams and stuff like that. Do you guys ever have a live stream plan? Or
yep, never done a live stream. Partially, terrified of canceling ourselves. No, really, we've just never that's not really our bag, man. Maybe like if Ross ever wanted to do a live stream, I'd say, yeah, dude, live stream it all day long on the channel if you want. He can just, go. Like that's what he's into doing. Emma and I, not so much. I guess it's just personal preference, but you're kind of talking me into it. I've watched a couple of yours, and you were kind of talking me into it yesterday. I've been thinking about it today.
Well, we do this chat. We haven't done an actual like live stream day, but I was looking at Larry and I was looking at Brian's. I think this is how it works. I think this is the best course of action.
You mean like a brew day?
Like filming a live brew day. But you got the guys because you.
Yeah,
I think
gotcha, sure.
I think you need two guys. I think you need one person to talk to the chat the whole time, and then someone's got to be brewing, and then just take turns every half an hour.
Gotcha.
That's I think that's the best way it would work. GFunkCated24, shout out. We got a new subscriber on this channel. Hey, thanks for promoting it, man. I saw some subscribers go up today. I appreciate that, Kyle.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm hoping hoping some people hop over here from our Instagram and our YouTube.
Yeah, and shout out to the East Coasters because I know sometimes we keep this going pretty much midnight their time. So I know it's difficult, and thanks for coming on, Kyle. I got some stuff written down for you.
It's good.
What were you doing? Well, I mean, a little bit about yourself. You run Clawhammer. You're the owner, and this is obviously full time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been that way since. So I started this as a hobby in 2009, and I was working with primarily distillation equipment at that point, and then I made the leap from doing this as a hobby to it being a full-time thing. I want to say it was January 1 of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
January 1, 2013 is when the end of 2012 was the last time I had a real job. So it's been about 10 years. And prior to this, I have an environmental science background. and I had a consulting job in Boulder, Colorado. Sweet job, man. It was great.
You get the
Still really
Colorado
friends with the
ties, man.
folks that, yeah, I moved out there, uh, primarily for a girl actually, who I'm now married to. And
Dilly dilly. Hey now.
Ended up getting a sweet consulting job out there as well, and lasted a year before my little hobby distillation project turned into a full-time job. And then we didn't start brewing until, again, man, I think it was like 2017.
That's pretty much
and
when I
that
started
working with me, and maybe when you started YouTube and whatnot.
Same year, 2017, and we, that was when I started with a buddy who I met at Booze Brothers, and I'm not talking shit, but I thought it was going to be like a 50-50 thing. And after like the first 10 videos, I edited them all. And it would, at that time in 2017, it would like take everything out of me to give up to, because I was learning Final Cut on the fly. And, and my girlfriend would be like, hey, you got to, clean up the house and wash the dishes. And she'd come home at like 9 or 10 o'clock, and I'd be pretty much just like workaholiced out, and I wouldn't even know it's day or night. Like I was in a casino and I'd only have like 3 minutes edited. Yeah. I was just lost in a supermarket trying to figure out sound effects and is this funny, or, how to get better audio. And, it ultimately was like a pretty big strain on my girlfriend and my relationship, because I was kind of working, and if you're 33 years old, you want your girlfriend, you probably want to have some YouTube traction at that point. If you're just like, hey babe, I'm going to go start like a YouTube channel. Yeah. So what are you talking about? Fucking clean the garage up, you piece of shit. Like, what, the yard looks like shit. What do you start a YouTube channel with beer drinking? So we would do like 2 videos and then just like not do videos for a couple months. Like that was pretty much like homebrew for life. Genius Brewing. What up, dude? I mean, who edits your videos?
So in the early days, it was me. I did everything. And, I feel you on on like the strain that starting a business, or, the strain that it causes.
It does.
I would, like when I started, in like 2009, 2010, it really, I guess it's like when it really started was like 2011. I made, or 10 or 11, I created a website for my products, and then started like blogging, essentially creating infographics and little videos. But it was really a more like a lot of writing. And man, dude, I would stay up until like 2 in the morning, making stuff for the website one day, and then get up at 7, go to work, 8 go to work, come home the next day. I was making stills at that point by hand, myself in a garage. I'd do that until 2 in the morning the next day. I mean, it was like heavy duty.
Yeah, and I think like
thankfully moved on beyond that.
And you were telling me the other, I don't want to get too much personal stuff, but like if you have a kid or you have a marriage or you have a bitchy girlfriend, sometimes just the business or the YouTube stuff just can't work out.
Yeah, for the relationship I was in at that time, it didn't work out well for that one. I'll say she wasn't into it really. But fortunately, like things started going well for me at the point that I linked up with my now wife, and we had a kid at that point as well. So timing worked out really well.
When did Emmett come into play?
This all over. I think Emmett, I was just thinking about this. I think Emmett came on like at the end of 2013.
Oh, so he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. We've been around, I think, a lot longer than people think we have. A lot of times, I mean, I've heard from a lot of people like, oh man, you guys just came out of nowhere and just, like did really well on YouTube, for example. But man, I've been doing this since 2009. YouTube videos since then. I've had a pretty active blog since like 2011. And we have, I mean, I want to say at this point we have a lot more traffic on our website than we do on our YouTube channel.
Well,
you kind
I'll
of
tell you
link-
why. I'll tell you why. Because most people don't brew for a decade. You know, I've been brewing. I've only brewed maybe. I was trying to think about this the other day. I've give or take maybe about 100, maybe 120 batches of beer. But most people haven't been brewing for since 2008 or 9 or 10. Maybe Kurt Pick has. Maybe Jonathan Elliott has. But even myself included, I haven't been brewing for a decade yet. So
Yeah.
everything's just
Yeah.
new. And I think, like we kind of were talking about yesterday, brewing is kind of this ever revolving door where it's pretty rare for somebody to do it for their whole life, for a decade or something. I always think like just as many people come in and as just as people come out, like it's a carousel or a just a ever revolving door. And I think that's probably why people are just new.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I want to get back to your question about the video editors, but I wanted to say that
Yeah,
Emmett
sorry.
and I started brewing in college, and that was like, how, dude? Do you mind if I ask how old you are? You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Me?
Yeah,
I'm 36. January 4th, 1985.
36.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dude, I know you have a strong NES game going on, like in the background of all
Yeah.
your videos.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Altered Beast.
Yep.
I appreciate all that stuff. I love the music that you use.
Yeah.
Um,
That's pretty much homebrew for
so
life. I've
we
ripped off 3 things I'll tell you about after, but I want to hear this.
Yeah, so we started brewing in college, and this was like 2002 or something. We're
20
both
years ago.
40. I'm 41.
Okay.
Yeah. I brewed a couple times, and I was like, dude, this sucks. I didn't like it. I thought I just wasn't into it. And then
The beer sucked, or
then
there was
Emmett
too much
started brewing.
work?
No, I did not like brewing. I didn't like it.
Just
I
a
was
hobby.
like, dude, I'm not into this, man. It's too much work.
Okay.
And it's not really fun for me. And then like Emmett started brewing at the same time, but like independently, we weren't brewing together at that point. But we had a mutual friend, so he brewed with this buddy Brad BC, who works at Jackie O's in Athens, Ohio. He's moved on to another brewery out in California. I think he started his own gig now. But anyway, so Emmett really got into it, and like fast forward, like Emmett kept brewing, I stopped, and then when he came on and to work with me, he came over to my house one day with this prototype. He was talking about this prototype brew in a bag system that he had built.
Okay.
And it was like plastic. It was, I mean, the kettle was metal, but like the pump was like a tiny little plastic aquarium pump. I mean, it looked about as big as the webcam, like a webcam.
Okay.
It was like, it was nylon paint strainer. But dude, I brewed on that with him one time, and I was sold. I was like, man, this is so much easier than how I was doing it, when I brewed in college. And that's kind of like that's how the brewing side of Clawhammer was born. Emmett came over with that brew system, we brewed on. I was like, dude, we gotta make these and sell these because these are cool.
What about Ross? How long's he been apart?
So Ross, I met Ross in like 2015. So I moved to Asheville in like 2006, moved out to Colorado. I was out there for 4 years, moved back, and then just coincidentally, so I was in Fort Collins, and that's the home of New Belgium
CSU.
Brewing.
Colorado State.
CSU, New
I've been
Belgium.
there. Yeah.
So, like just coincidentally, about the same time I moved back was when New Belgium was opening up. And I live like 2 blocks from New Belgium here. And a bunch of people that we knew in Fort Collins, not a bunch, but like several people we knew in Fort Collins happened to be moving from Fort Collins to Asheville at the same time we were, because they were moving to start a new job at the New Belgium location here. So we were hanging out with some folks that we knew at the brewery before the brewery was open, and Ross he was like starting a new job for himself at that point there at the brewery, and I just happened to meet him like in their, like they had a mock tasting room that they had set up in this old church, and they called it the Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a little bar set up in like a big, like his literal sanctuary of an old church. It was pretty sweet. But we hung out up there a couple times. I met him there. He's a real cool dude. And when Emmett and I started making brewing videos, it was kind of rough at first, man, because neither of us really wanted to be on camera.
Oh, it's
But
brutal.
I'm like, dude, Emmett, like you're the one who knows how to brew. You know, you're the content expert. I'm the dude, you know, like I'm gonna run the camera. And you know, Emmett didn't want to do it. And I said, you know what we need is we just need someone who's cool, who's into beer, who's funny, and who just like talks a lot. And that is Ross.
Ross
Like, that is
Ross and me were
Ross.
separated at birth.
It's possible, yeah. You
I don't
guys
know how
have a
old it
similar
is.
vibe.
Yeah.
You have a similar vibe. But Ross is awesome. I mean, Ross is involved just because Ross is an awesome dude. And yeah, so I said, hey man, we had made like 2 or 3 videos and we were gonna do a tasting for a video, and I ran into Ross. I was like, hey man, I'm doing this thing, I'm making these, and I didn't even really know him that well. I said, I'm doing these videos about brewing beer, and I just need someone to like hang out and like drink a beer and talk about it.
I
And be a
can't be in these
bartender,
videos
right?
by myself anymore. I can't look at myself anymore. I just need somebody else. I need anybody. Come in this video. Get the little old lady from across the street that doesn't speak English that well. Just be in it with me. It can't be me all the time. I've been there, man.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yep. So Ross was the guy, man, and he like fit the bill perfectly. And yeah, man, like currently, you know, Ross will text me about I'm in almost every weekend or every other weekend, and you know, just say, hey man, you want to brew some beer this week?
Do you guys brew
So yeah,
without shooting?
um, rarely
Yeah.
do we brew without shooting.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
know,
like 4 or
it's
5 times a year for me. And then probably like 20 film brew
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like if you're
Yeah,
if
it
you're
gets
gonna
us-
brew,
I
let's
mean-
get the camera out. You know, like you know, it's let's maybe you're just by yourself, or I don't know. You really want to try a style or something.
Yeah, if I rebrew something, I've done that before by myself. But oftentimes, yeah, it just feels like a missed opportunity to not film it. We do like test a lot of stuff out without the camera rolling.
Yeah.
So
Do you want to talk about what's going on with the last couple videos with Clawhammer, or are we not talking about
yeah, sure. No, it's
the
fine.
the
Yeah,
computer?
so we haven't had a video out in like 2 months because not like a real, but like
Back off,
actual
child,
brewing
seriously.
video. I think the last one we put out was June 20th. Because we lost, we had a hard drive failure and we lost 2 completely edited videos. It's kind of funny.
It's my nightmare.
It wouldn't be unexpected. We should have planned a little better. So the scenario is, the situation is, to get back to your question about video editing, we have 3 video editors on staff. I guess I'll say 2 are full-time and 1 is part-time. So one of our video editors is cruising around in like a Ford Econoline van that he built out to be a camper, and he's been living in this van for like 9 months. This is Aiden. And yeah, man, he had 2 completely edited, more or less completely edited videos on this hard drive, which is like an HDD. It wasn't in the solid state, and it failed, and we lost them.
That's crazy, man.
So that's where we are.
What does one take for me to get an editor? Even though I've already kind of tried it and it doesn't work, but how does it work with you? I mean, obviously, if they're filming too much or they're not filming enough, or if it's just not fitting the style, I mean, how does that kind of work? Because every time I've tried to get an editor, I just have to go back and redo it myself. Someone will just film the same shot for 30 seconds. So I'm like, dude, if you're going to do that, get 3 10-second shots. 1 looking down, 1 looking up, and 1 from the side. You can't just sit there for 30 seconds and shoot B-roll.
Right, yeah. So the rule is this. Every time you add an editor to your staff, it will slow your production rate down by about 50%.
I would imagine.
I
can exactly imagine that.
So here's how we do videos. So we found our first editor found us, actually. Emmett and I were in a coffee shop one day, and we were talking about the fact that, you know, like I was kind of just editing videos very slowly, and we were never gonna like put out a significant amount of content if I kept doing it. And you know, the idea was like, all right, we need an editor to help us out with this.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid at that point, he's like 19. This is Lawson. Um, he's sitting at the table next to us. He goes, "Hey guys, well, I was kind of listening to your conversation. Just wanted to let you know that I'm a media major at UNCA, and if you're looking for an editor, like I could do that." And we said, "Okay, cool. Send us your portfolio." And so Lawson sends us his portfolio, and it was.
You're gonna figure it out real fast if he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'll just say it because I've told this to Lawson like directly. I thought this portfolio was horrible. I was like, dude, this is bad, man. I would never put anything like this on my YouTube channel. But, like Lawson's, at that time, he was 19 and he was going to college for editing videos. So he's into it. And I'm thinking, at this point, I'm like 38 or something, 37. I'm thinking, there's no way that, I'm ever going to be better than he is at this.
Yeah.
He's always going to be able to figure out stuff that I will never be able to figure out. So the idea was, well, okay, we'll bring him on and then, we'll just work with them and have him make stuff that, we like.
I love talking production. I love talking homebrewing. I love talking what we're talking about right now. And I do everything pretty much at Homebrew for Life. I got guys that'll shoot B-roll. I've got guys that can show up and they're comfortable in front of camera and they'll say a couple lines or whatever. Maury just is like, like, what are we doing? Shows up just barely, on probably 3 hours sleep or something. But I did a video with Trent. Do you know the Brew Show? Do you watch the Brew Show channel?
Yeah, you know what? I mean,
he's in here right now.
I do. Cool. I just watched a couple of his videos yesterday, actually.
Yeah, he's got a good channel. He keeps it simple. He's
no, dude,
to the point.
Yeah, in fact, just I don't want to interrupt you. I'll just say that I was just literally just showing two of my editors one of his videos this morning. And I said, "Hey, make this. This right here."
Trent hit the ground running.
A specific section. Lawson's response to that was, "Well, I don't think he's like an engineer or something. I just doing this. Like, I think he's like a video producer guy."
He works in Hollywood.
Dude, Lawson,
the biz. Okay. He's in the biz.
Lawson, that's what you are.
Yeah,
that's your job.
Yeah,
you are one of those too.
But. Yeah, Trent's video editing rips, and he came down, and for the first time ever in Homebrew for Life, like 200 videos in, I've shot with 5 or 6 different guys. Usually I'm just, you go over here, you do this, you do that. Trent was like, "Hey, how do you want to shoot this? Do you want to do like this style or that style?" And I was like, whoa, no one's ever been like,
right, let's
actually like talk about some shots. I always do that. I'm like, "Hey, let's try it again. You come in from this side now. We'll get the shot of that side." But no one's ever been like, guys will just film aimlessly and they think they're doing it. But no one's ever been like, hey, how do you actually want to like get this shot? Do we want to shoot like with the sun in the back? Is this a motion? Like, what's going on? I was like, I need that. I need people that talk like that. Anybody can turn record on or the H6 zoom on, but it's everything that leads up to that. It's everything that's like, okay, let's make it count. Let's just, the last thing I want to do is look at 4 gigabytes of stuff I can't use because you were just like a little kid walking around filming stuff, because I have to edit everything because that's the only way kind of Homebrew for Life works. But going back to what you were talking about, first starting your business, when I first started editing for Homebrew for Life, it would drain us a little bit more. You have editors, but for me, it's just kind of like, this is my job now. So as long as I just treat it like, hey, I'm just going to edit for 4 hours today. Most people should be working 40-hour weeks at least, so like, cool. And I'll try to do it in the morning because I think my attention and work ethic's always better in the morning. And then after that, I'm like, hey, let's just shoot a little B-roll, or I'll make some thumbnails, or I don't know. But as long as I treat it more like a job, I don't get stressed out at all anymore. And I actually like went through this phase where I'd get like, I'm sure you felt like this too. You and Emmett are like, dude, are we really making YouTube videos? Like, are we really going to put, our friends and family are going to see this, yada, yada, yada. And I'd get not insecure, but I'd just weird myself out. And now I'm at the point where like, if I don't put out content, I get bummed out. Now I'm like, we got to put out content. We got to put out content. My friends are going to make fun of me all they want. My friends are going to but they stare at Instagram all day seeing how many people like their sunset pictures. Like, the joke is, who's the joke really on? You know, I got videos to
Yeah.
make. I got shit I've got written down. I got my board back there.
Yeah.
Braggot, smoky beer, no grain IPA, German IPA, grew it. 5 mistakes to avoid. We just did that one. Carbonated sangria. I want to make these videos. I want to brew them.
Right. Yeah.
So you just get
totally. Yeah, you gotta feed the machine.
You got to feed the machine. Yeah. How are your hangovers at 41? Because if I'm hungover, I have to like power myself through a homebrew for life day. I have to be like, fucking here we go. Hide all of your emotion and lights, camera, action, even though I want to die. How's it on your end?
Yeah. Dude,
just,
man,
yeah.
Life changes, man. Never grow old. Never grow old, Peter
Never
Pan.
slow
It
down,
sucks, man.
never grow old.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the probability that you're gonna die from, the hangover that 3 or 4 beers causes is pretty high at 41. For me, at least. Yeah.
Do you still drink IPAs?
I do. Not much, man.
I
Not
know.
as much as I used to.
I know. I know.
That's one of the reasons.
I know.
I mean, to be honest, if I go out to a bar, the first thing I look at is the ABV of every single beer. I scan the menu. I look at the ABV of every single beer. I pick the 3 lowest ABVs.
Wow.
And I will most likely get one of those. But then if there's like something that looks really good and tasty and it's a higher ABV, yeah, then maybe I'll get
one or
get it consequences, but
get it to go and drink it at home. That's I don't know if that's how Asheville is, but that's kind of just the overall trend in San Diego is like everything's just kind of becoming more of a session. I think Pilsners were big, and then obviously the hard seltzer craze took off, and that's like 4 or 5%. And I just think the word's out. Like, I'm 36. If I drank 6 IPAs a few weeks ago, and I had a devastating hangover. But I'm a runner. I think you're a cyclist. And I'll just get up and I'll just run. And it's the worst physical 20 minutes I could put myself through. But it's over after that run. And if I don't run, it'll stay with me all day.
Yeah, I'm a runner as well. And
what up, Bodines?
Hangover, dude. Run 5 or 6 miles.
Yeah.
And it's like you're running through hell, but you on the other side, your hangover will be gone.
Yeah, I know. If you could just do 20 minutes of cardio or jumping in the ocean, and then I call it the human cold crash. I go in the shower after I run, and I crank the heat all the way up, and then I go all the way cold. And I literally get to the point where I'm like hyperventilating. I'm like Natalie Portman for like V versus Vendetta. I'm just like, and the more I do that, the faster the hangover will go away. But I don't think a lot of beer drinkers can run 6 miles. I've just been training pretty much for a decade.
Little contrast therapy.
Yeah. Are you looking at the YouTube channel at all, Kylo, or are you just looking at Discord?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
No, I have it. I have the YouTube channel up here.
Shout out to Hunger Force Beats. Hunger Force Beats donated $5. Thank you for buying me a beer this week. And I want Clawhammer to get into this. I want to see some more live brew day stuff. I watched Larry's.
Hunger Force Beats name.
Yeah, it reminds me of some Comedy Central stuff.
Aqua Teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the link in the description for Super Chat. You know what? I set it up differently because YouTube took about 40% of the Super Chats from last week. And I was donating this week to some of my live stream people, my Twitch people. And I was just like, if I donate $5 or $10 or $15 or $25, I want my money to go to them. I'm going to talk to the live streamers after this. There's a couple guys in here. There's a better way to go if you just go through Streamlabs. They take a lot less. And YouTube is just a money hungry. I know they're all, equality and they do all this activism stuff in front of the curtain, but behind it, they are the most money hungry motherfuckers on planet Earth. And it's just through Streamlabs now, not YouTube. But thank you, Hunger Force. Thanks, Brian. We got 65 people here in the chat right now. I want to talk about Asheville because I'm going to come visit you, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to show up at your house.
Cool.
But you have, so the house that you guys film at, you told me yesterday that nobody lives there. You bought that house just for the business and for a studio, correct?
Yeah. So, yeah, man. we bought the house. No, long story short, my wife kicked me out of our house. The basement. We were filming brewing videos in the basement. That lasted about 2 videos. And she's like, "Yeah, no, you gotta get out of there."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, cool." So that's gonna cost me uh, some money. So we at that point. So Emmett and I, we worked like as a business owner. I'm a pretty conservative guy, and so we Emmett and I worked like I've never really, I never thought that this was gonna go this far, honestly. And I'm just like, I want to make this last and not screw it up. So, we worked out of coffee shops for years, man,
What do you
like
mean?
years and years in Fort Collins. So Emmett and I we would go to a coffee shop, open up our laptops, pay a
Oh,
dollar
got it.
fifty for a
Got
cup of
it.
coffee, and sit there all day.
That was your office.
Um,
I got you. I got you.
yeah, that was our office, and we did that for years. And then we we decided like we had to have a space to brew in though, and it wasn't like neither of our houses was really going to work for that.
Mhm.
So I found a space, and to lease, and that was like the original set, like the original legit looking set on our channel, and then yeah, we decided, like it's not cheap, man, to rent a space like that. So I started looking around for places to buy, and I found a little house up the street, right up the street from our old office. Bought it and yeah, turned it into a studio. But I actually wanted to ask people in the
Back off,
chat
war
what
child,
they
seriously.
Wow.
what they think, or what like they think the arrangement is, because I feel like a lot of people think that we just live at this house. We all live at the house. I don't
Yeah,
know if it
like the
is
Brady
that.
Bunch, like the Three Ninjas or something. I
Yeah,
thought you.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, if you're doing something right, if you can buy a house and use it as a studio, that's why I'm moving to Asheville.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move to Asheville. I was actually looking at Airbnbs and Realtor.com stuff, and I could buy a house out there for about $300,000.
Dude, you want to move to Johnson City, Tennessee, or you want to move? That's where our new
Johnson
warehouse
City,
is gonna be.
Tennessee.
Yeah, man. That's
Okay.
where the new warehouse is gonna be. It's about an hour from here, but yeah, like like for example, we lease warehouse space in Colorado, and we've grown to the point where we outgrew our original warehouse space and then added on an auxiliary warehouse space in Colorado, and we're like, dude, we gotta like buy something because this is getting pricey. And at that point, we realized, oh shit, man, we're like actually paying way below the market value for rent in Fort Collins. We're like getting a deal right now. It was going to be ridiculously expensive to buy a warehouse space out there. So we started looking around here, really expensive in Asheville, and we found a place in Johnson City an hour away, and it's going to be sweet.
I need to get out of here. I pay $2,000 a month,
Yeah.
and I'll never be able to buy a house where I live. And I live by the
Dude.
beach. It's cool. I can go to the beach and I run on the coast, but I'll never. I'm
Yeah.
almost 40 years old, and I'll never. A 2-bedroom house across the street from me right now, 1 bathroom's probably $600,000. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom
Yeah.
house, probably $800,000. Carlsbad Village
Yeah.
is the biggest ripoff of all time, but it's the market.
Yeah.
It's market value, and.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
Mardueno Homebrew donated $5. We'll do an NBC here in a second, just not with this beer. This beer is actually kind of gross. But I need to travel more. My mom fled the country. She moved to Uruguay. She kills it down there. Oceanfront view for about $800 a month. Yeah, she was a career flight attendant, so she knew like where the U.S. dollar went the furthest. And she's at the point she can't even like come back. She can't deal with traffic, and just everyone back here is just way more political and argumentative and divided, and she's just like, it's just too much for me. It's it's Uruguay. It's just, there's 3 million people in the whole country, which is pretty much the size of San Diego County, but it's the country of Uruguay. So there's no traffic. It'd be tough to get your ass kicked. It would be very tough to get your ass kicked in Uruguay. Unless you go down there with me, man. We're the drunken white borrachos putting our cameras in everyone's face.
No, I'd walk about half a block behind you, and
Nah, I'm kidding. We got some questions coming in. What up, Donovan Sanderson? If you guys come to Asheville, I'll meet you there. I think there's some people in here from your neck of the woods. CH, are you going across the pond? I'm not. Not trying to bring anybody down. One of the guys that films or who helps out with Homebrew for Life, he bought a ticket to go to Portugal and Spain for September 9th. I had some grandparents. My last grandparents passed away a couple months ago, and their memorial is a week after that. And my grandfather was a 30-year officer in the Navy. He was like he was an '06. He was a captain in the Navy, and there's going to be a big memorial for him. So I had to cancel the trip on that.
Yeah.
Donnie understood. It's not like I bailed on him. I mean, this is just something that I have to show up for. I'll be, a scumbag family member, and I was really close to my grandparents. So I had to cancel on that. But we are going to go down to Uruguay and visit my mother in January. And down there, it's their summertime in January. So you can take a ferry from where my mom lives, a 1-hour ferry to Buenos Aires, Argentina. So you can go back and forth in one day. We'll go down there and be obnoxious and get drunk and hopefully live to tell about it. Drunken gringos in Uruguay. That's absolutely right. Does anybody have any questions in regards to Clawhammer's studio and stuff like that? Because when they told me that was just a studio or something, that tripped me out. I mean, that's pretty much Clawhammer's pretty much my dream. Not like to be in Clawhammer with you, but like one day, if I had what you had with, Maury or whoever, or, maybe I get a younger guy or something like that. That is, especially just through YouTube or, doing podcasts, or I'm not selling a system. I'm not selling recipe stuff. I'm not selling, we do, merch and stuff like that. But if I could do pretty much what you're doing with the studio lights, all that stuff just from videos, I think that's the best way that I could live my life like in terms of like the dream job.
It's fun, man.
It's super fun. And it's not going to happen if I live in San Diego. It's never going to happen with a beer channel. Bodian's Brews. I love Clawhammer's videos and studio.
Yeah, man.
Joseph, I'd use the
You
barrage.
missed your OnlyFans. Opportunity. You're so close. You should have done that. Man.
I know. Joseph,
it would have come to an end anyway.
I know. I guess they're all shutting down. I guess something's going on. You got some questions, Kyle. You got a question from Joseph Eide. How long did it take to get the whole brew setup together? I guess the build out, what he's talking about with your wood panels and your lights and your studio, and what do you got? 10 beers on draft?
Yeah, the brew setup or the brew system. Like the brew setup, I mean, we've done it twice now, and we're not done yet. So like that tap system in like the kitchen of the house, it's like there's only a couple beers actually on tap there. We want to rebuild that kegerator. We've just had so many other projects going on that we haven't been able to rebuild the kegerator and then get all the beers on tap. In the old office, yeah, we had 8. Like that's the same setup. We ripped it all down at the old office and I rebuilt it here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the old office, we had 8 beers on tap pretty much all the time. That's when you find out how much you can really drink, and get a hangover, or how much you need to not drink when you have like 8 beers on tap. That's like limits you, I think.
But
At least it did for me.
When you guys bought that house to when you shot your first video there, how long did that take for you guys to build out? I know you said you had problems with like the roof, or there was just some home improvement stuff you had to deal with. But aside from that stuff, how long was the downtime where you could actually put out video content?
Oh, the downtime was, it was like, I mean, you can go back and actually see the evolution of the set like on the channel, but it was like 4 months. 4 months easily,
4 months.
We didn't really do anything, but work on the house.
And what was the year of that?
Yeah.
How like invested were you guys in the channel at that point, making beer videos?
Oh, yeah, that was just like a couple years ago that we got this house. I mean, we got the house. I mean, we were at the point in making videos where like, okay, we knew this is working. We're gonna be able to make videos. It's gonna, it's gonna be helpful for, showing people what this is and how to use it, and we should be making videos, so we need a space for that, and this will pay for it essentially.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the dream, man. That's the dream. I hope that's the dream. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, like,
I gotta team
know,
up with Trent or something. I gotta team up with the Brew Show. I mean, we're close. We just got to start putting content out.
yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you're helpful, if you're entertaining, if you inspire people, like best case scenario, you do all three of those things, people are going to want to watch what you create. And if that involves like a product that's useful to them that they're into, they will get that as well. Um, like this, so like this, I have a couple things in this office here that I've acquired over the last couple of years because of YouTube. Like because I watch people use this stuff on YouTube, like this synthesizer behind me. There are a couple of like music channels that I
Oh, for
follow.
sure. I mean,
Who
YouTube is like the
are
new
any kind of
college.
stuff. Yeah, totally.
Do you ever?
And I knew.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you ever think of opening up your own brewery? Would you ever open up a brewery in Asheville, kind of like what Genus Brewing does? They've got a YouTube channel / brewery.
Yeah, no way.
There's no way.
I would never do that.
Too much
Oh man,
competition, or just
dude, no, that would just be my worst nightmare. It's because I mean, what
Peter, close
happens
your
when
ears.
you make beer that what happens when you make beer that you don't like? I mean, I don't want to like, what happens when I don't know. I feel like that would suck the fun out of it for me personally. I know a lot of people probably would like that, but I wouldn't like that.
Fair
I
enough.
would not like that.
I would do it,
Yeah.
but it would be a 3-barrel system, and it would not be in California. I would never open up a business in California.
Sure, yeah. You know
I
what
gotta
would be
come
cool?
to Tennessee.
I think like opening a distillery. If I was to do some beverage related thing, I would probably go the distillery route.
Okay.
Distilling is like way more forgiving, than brewing is.
What do you mean by that?
I would say.
You don't have to be as
I
good?
mean, just think about like how people used to distill. I mean, sour mash whiskey we're talking like the origin of sour mash whiskey would be like essentially like a sour beer. It's good. It's ready when it tastes like a sour beer. There's not the and then you distill it and that all goes away. I mean, it's in at that point, it's in the distillation process. I'm grossly oversimplifying here, probably.
I know nothing about this, so this is good for me. I know nothing about booze.
This is
I mean,
also
I mean, I get it. I understand like how
as well,
how
from my standpoint.
yeah.
But I mean, back in the day, I mean, it was just like a terroir type thing. You're not adding yeast to something. It's a sour mash. You're just continually fermenting something, and there's a lot of natural bacteria and stuff. Lacto and probably Brettanomyces and stuff that's in your mash, and yeah, that just like it goes away when you distill it. And at that point, it's all about making good cuts and then aging it properly, and I think that would be fun.
If you could do it all over again, what would you do? If everyone, if they know now what they did 5 or 10 years ago, how would you have played some things differently?
I would probably have just gone out a little harder, in the sense that
More video
I
content?
worked. Well, I mean, with the distillation thing, that was a hobby for me for for 3 solid years before it was a business, and I was making money, uh, when I was doing that, but I didn't have the confidence to like take the leap and do it full time. I probably could have kickstarted it at least a year earlier if I had, gone all out. And then, we were really slow to develop even after I quit my job, my day job. And, we were slow to get into brewing. I would have just tried to probably do everything a lot faster. I would have hired people earlier, sooner.
So when
Stuff
your guys are working, like when Emmett and your editors are there, are they at that house that you're at? You're at the house that we see in all your videos, right? You pulled the camera out yesterday. That's the kitchen, or that's the.
Yeah, I can show you, man. Yeah,
Let's get the room tour, man.
Yeah, room tour. So yeah, we're in the
Ja Rule MTV Cribs. There it is.
Watch any of our videos, you'll recognize this. So then, like the kitchen is, it's back there somewhere.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, Emmett's still working from home actually. I think like probably 2 months ago, I was like, "Hey, Emmett, I think it's probably about time to come back to the office." And he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'll probably come back on Monday and start moving stuff." And that was 2 months ago. So,
Is there a lot of days that just nobody's at that office? I mean, is it just kind of unoccupied, or that house? I guess.
not anymore. For a long while there, everybody was working from home, but
COVID.
yeah. But yeah, the video editors are here every day. I'm here most days. Yeah, so we have two video editors here like every day.
Is that the office right back there? Is that where you got a lot going on back there? I feel like I'm in like Bill Nye's laboratory or something. Is that
Yeah, dude. So these are a couple of the things these are a couple of pandemic projects for me.
That is an old school VCR or a camcorder up there.
Yeah, dude. Man, I'll tell you what. My absolute favorite class in high school was TV production. Loved it, and I was like pretty good relative to the rest of the folks. Like I aced every class I ever took, and I wanted to go to film school in college, and my plan was just to go there, but I didn't I wasn't positive, so I didn't enroll right away. And then when I got there, it wasn't until I got there that I realized, oh shit, like the film school is the most competitive like college like program within the school that I'm at. Like you have to be like a pretty much, like genius level smart to get into this program. And I was like, it's not gonna happen for me. But yeah, dude, that's the old.
I'm looking at it.
Omnimax,
I'm looking at
baby.
it zoomed in Discord now. I'm off Streamlabs. That is some crazy shit. Can everyone see that?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
So I bought two of those. My goal was to get one that's running. We've been talking to a company about maybe trying to like cannibalize a couple of those and get one working version. But we have done a little bit of stuff with it. It's just difficult as hell to use.
That's rad, man.
Yeah, and then like we have some synth equipment back there that's super fun to mess around with. Started watching this channel called Red Means Recording.
I don't know.
On YouTube, and
all I watch is Yeast and the Mbc'S channel.
Yeah,
he's in here right now.
He does a lot of videos with this. This is called the OP1 synth, but yeah, it's super fun to play around with. It's just you can make all kinds of weird sounds and beats and stuff. Wow. Dude, another channel I got into was this. I recommend everybody check this one out. It's called The Craftsman, CRAFSMAN, Craftsman.
Okay.
And dude, as a Nintendo fan, like an 80s nostalgia fan, you need to watch this dude's workshop tour. It is incredible. That's the first thing I saw. But he does a lot of pressure casting. He does a lot of pressure casting, and he like makes little G.I. Joe toys and stuff like that. So I started making some stuff with this stuff. My goal last year was to make some like blinged out gold vampire teeth, which I eventually did. That kind of led me into this like the world of 3D printing, and we've done some stuff with this.
You got a lot going on, man.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna do some more stuff with it. But favorite thing I've made with this so far is my let's see.
Aubrey here wants to know, where's Kyle been? I'm sorry, where's Tommy been? That's cool, dude. That's rad, man.
Yeah, so this is like 3D printed.
Tyler Durden would be proud.
Mold. Yeah, buddy. Anyway,
you got some questions coming in regards to Jack Martino wants to know what's your favorite Clawhammer video of all time. I like talking to Brian and Larry about this. I want to know your answer too. And then Aubrey Heyer wants to know, where has Tommy been? Wow. So what?
Oh, probably Tommy Schnell.
I don't know.
She's asking about
some inside joke. Sounds like some ex-girlfriend from high
Um,
school creeping on us or something, man.
Yeah, probably. So
That's
yeah,
a compliment.
Tommy,
One child,
I'll answer the Tommy question. Tommy, Tommy Schnell, he's one of the dudes who brewed with us. So are you familiar with like Michelin star restaurants? This is something I learned about
Yeah.
because of Tommy.
Yeah, it's big in California,
Dude, they're
especially
like,
Napa.
yeah. They're like, there's this rating system for restaurants, and if you're like a 4-star or 3-star Michelin restaurant, like
It's huge.
you're the one of the top restaurants, yeah, in the world. So Tommy's worked at 3 Michelin star rated restaurants,
Okay.
and two of them have been 3-star restaurants, which I think is the highest you can get. And one of them, like they got the 3rd star when he worked there. So dude is legit, man. Like he's a legit chef, and I just happen to know him through the gym that I go to, and yeah, he's just a cool dude, man. So I was like, hey, Tommy, like, what do you think about coming over and helping us some brews, some stuff that's not traditional beer type beer.
Mm-hmm.
So we did like a candied orange IPA is one of the things we did with him, and yeah, I mean, it was fun. So anyway, Tommy actually moved up to Johnson City. It just completely coincidentally, actually, that's where he's from, and he opened a pizza restaurant up there. So he's running a restaurant. That's where Tommy is.
All right. Aubrey, hopefully that worked for you. And Jack Martino, this is on my mind as well. What's your favorite Clawhammer video of all time? Or what just, as of recent, that stands out?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really good question, man.
Because you guys go hard. How many, in a perfect world, how many videos can you put out a month? Beer, grain to glass videos? Probably just 2?
We could, at some point, we're going to be doing one every other week.
Okay, so
but
2.
Yeah, I mean, it always slows down for us in the summer. Like I'm really into kiteboarding, and I spend easily like 3 weeks out of the summer, maybe 4 or more kiteboarding in various places. Emmett likes to work on VW vans. He probably does a lot of that. I mean, he gets, it's warm out, it's nice out. He doesn't have a heated garage,
Wow.
so he does a lot of that kind of stuff. We're just slower in the summertime.
But what about that? What about that New Zealand, when you guys made that video where there was a ton of Lord of the Rings references? How long did that video take to make? Shoot, your editor, I'd imagine you oversee everything.
Yeah, so
what he's editing,
so
what
we
he's
shot that. So I'm gonna say we shot that like a day and a half of shooting. So a full day of brewing, not a half day, like a full day of brewing, a couple hour tasting. But Martin and I actually shot additional footage for that. Well, no,
that
this
was
is
with the Homebrew Challenge. That was the same video. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one took a day to film, and then just a couple hours of tasting that we did for that. But dude, it took weeks to edit that video.
All the
And
clips from Lord of the Rings and Ross reenacting them, and you guys putting it to an old school TV and stuff like that. I mean, I know the reality of the editing and keyframing behind that.
Yeah. Yep. And so the way we do it is
I'll zoom into
Lawson or Nathaniel or Aiden. They'll typically they film. Best case, the person who edits films, and they will create a draft 1. And we actually use this project software called Oslo, OSLO.io.
Okay.
It's web-based.
Wow.
It's a web-based app, so they're able to make a version of the edit, upload it to Oslo. They send me a link. I get in there, I watch it, and then I can comment like real time, or not real time, but I can comment in the timeline about the things that I like and I don't like, and the things we need to add and subtract, and so they will take those edits, and sometimes there are not a lot of comments and something like that. There's probably like 40 different things I put in there. And then we'll do draft 2, start over, draft 3, start over, draft 4,
dude.
do it again. So we'll do we don't redo everything. We just, obviously we just modify the project file. But that's how we do every single video. It's, they do the edits, and to their credit, like the video editors are incredible. Lawson's great. Aiden's great. Our new guy, Nathaniel, he's going to be awesome. Super smart. They're all really smart. Really, I love their sense of humor. They come up with really funny stuff. They're great. They're amazing editors. They're way faster than I would ever be. And so like they deserve a ton of credit. But like the role that I play is like I'll typically come up with an idea for like something we would want to incorporate into the video beforehand, think about how we might work through that, like film that part of it, and then we'll give them direction there, and then like basically say like, no, this is not working, we got to do this, we got to add this.
What about the beer styles? Do you go off like BJCP, or you just talk like what's the biggest trend? Are you guys like Martin Homebrew Challenge? He's trying to hit like every single beer. I kind of just do the things that are not the biggest, but not the smallest, and the beers that I haven't done before. Because when I first started brewing, it was like 20 extract batches of amber, and then after that, it was just like 60 batches of IPA. Everything was just IPA. Now it's like bacon maple beer, smoked smoky beer. How do you guys figure out which grain to class, which recipes to go with?
Yeah, so I used to pay Ross in beer, right? So I would be like, I'm
gonna clip that. That's gonna make the Instagram. That's gonna make some Homebrew for Life YouTube. Getting paid in beer, the cornerstone of all friendship.
Yeah, Ross never asked for anything in exchange for like hanging out, and
I like him even
like,
more.
Hey, I want to like, yeah, I would be like, hey, I want to like pay you. This took a lot of time. And
can I
Ross,
pay you? Can I ask you a
say,
question? Do you want some money?
Yeah. Ross would say, oh no, man, it's all good, dude. It's all good, homie. No, I just like this. It's fun. I'd say, but come on, man. It's just, just let me, do something for you. Oh,
he just wanted to be one of the boys, man. He just thought you guys were cool. He just wanted to lie to kick it, man.
So, I mean, he's the ultimate chiller, man. He just likes hanging out, brewing beer. Fun.
I bet you imagine you could just pay your editors in beer. I mean, imagine that, man.
Well, they
videos
take
a week.
Partial payment in beer because they typically are like sip on a beer during the day. But so like I'd go down to the where like a couple of videos would accumulate, and I'd go down to the homebrew shop, and dude knew me when I walked in the door. Like he'd walk straight up to me because he knew I was going to drop like $300 on beer.
Yeah.
The homebrew
wow.
store. And or not the homebrew store, but the bottle shop. And so we had an incredible bottle shop here in Asheville, and the Tasty Beverage Company. And the dude who worked there, I can't remember his name, but he was amazing, man. The guy was great. I loved him. He knew his stuff. And so, and then one of the things I would always ask him is, hey, like, what are people drinking? What are people drinking right now? What's hot?
That's smart.
What's popping?
What are people buying?
Yeah, so I mean that's what we brewed, and that's the first hazy IPA beer that we brewed was like, oh yeah, dude, this stuff is like flying off the shelf. Can't keep it on the shelf. So, and I think we're a bit ahead of the curve on that. I would say at least a little bit. But then like these days, when I go into the homebrew shop, and shout out to Asheville Brewer Supply. I'll ask Ted, the owner, what people are brewing, and we kind of base stuff off that as well. I mean, it's clear that some things are trendy, like a brute IPA, hazy IPA, Florida Weiss was maybe a thing we thought was going to be a thing for a second there. Hard seltzers.
Can we talk about you guys taking the plunge on hard seltzers, or did I just blow it right now? Because I was with you. I thought it was going to come and go, like pretty much Four Loko or everything else. And we talked about this on the Hoppy Hour a couple of weeks ago. There was, I think the CEO of Truly, he's finally bitching and complaining that all of his numbers are down. And hard seltzers they're here to stay, like as a big picture of it. But everyone's got one now, and every tasting room has one, and everyone's got a crowler to go of it. And it's not. I used to think that hard seltzers were going to be like I always compared it to energy drinks. Like there could only be like 3. Remember when energy drinks came out? There was like Go Girl and Jolt and Cocaine and all and Amped and yeah, and everyone was trying to get big with these like high caffeine vitamin drinks, yada yada yada. But after a few years, it was only pretty much just Rockstar, Red Bull, and Monster. And I thought that hard seltzers were going to go that way, but I didn't think about it. Energy drinks didn't have tasting rooms. All they had was distribution. So every tasting room has a hard seltzer now. And some of them have them in 6-packs. Some of them have them in 4-packs. Some of them have them, I don't know, in crowlers, maybe some bottles. But it's definitely here to stay. There's no doubt about it. And and I think people enjoy it so much just because they don't give you hangovers. And it's summertime.
Well, I mean, we thought... Yeah, it's summertime.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to be able to wait it out and, it'd come and go and we would never have to address it. And it didn't. It's still here. And, man, I can't tell you the number of people I've seen drinking hard seltzers this summer. I've seen hard seltzers like every place I've gone to hang out. Someone's been drinking a hard seltzer,
The key to hard seltzer is Peter from Genus gave me the Lucha Kvaik when it was like, the new kid at school, the coolest thing. And I did it hot. And there's all these like proper seltzers, yeast nutrients, stuff like that. It's all bullshit. Just hit your 5-gallon batch. Usually when you're doing like, water, beer salts, or, DAP, it's like 1 or 2 grams here and there. Throw an ounce or 2 of yeast energizer in that 5-gallon batch, and that'll keep the yeast from stalling out. And if the yeast does stall out, just throw in 2 or 3 more packets of Cuvée, Red Star, or whatever. But that's the key to it. And for whatever reason, the Lucha Kvaik yeast made my hard seltzer super clear, and I fermented with it for 3 days at about 90 degrees, and it was delicious. And I used the key to hard seltzers is the correct extract to use. Like we talked about this yesterday. We're probably deja vuing ourselves. For long story short, Kyle came on yesterday for a sound check, and we actually ended up talking for about an hour. It was pretty cool. So if we are repeating ourselves right now, the people that are the 76 people haven't heard it yet. But the name of the game is extracts, and less is more. Less is more. I think I did like a chocolate and vanilla, tasted like shit. I mean, there's a reason that all of the hard seltzers are either berry or citrus. Like if you want to try bacon, apple pie, lemon meringue hard seltzer, it's probably going to taste like shit. And I did a vanilla one or a chocolate one and a key lime one. And I used like half an ounce of that Olive Nation thing. And the key lime one was delicious. And the other one was so bad. And once you mix the extract in there, that's it. You can't go back on that. So what I did is I made a couple more batches, another batch of key lime, and then mixed it together with the vanilla. So it tasted kind of like key lime pie or whatever. But that was the video, and I think it worked out for some people. I hope it worked out for some people because my recipe turned out good. And you probably get this too, Kyle.
We watched it.
You watched the video? Do you ever get somebody that'll watch? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Do you ever get somebody who watches your video? And I'm trying to be as honest as I can in my videos because I don't have a brewery or I don't have any beers. But if I have a bad beer, I'm like, this beer wasn't good or it tasted kind of Belgian-y. And if it's a good beer, I'm like, this is a very good beer. Like we've been brewing for a long time. There's a lot of, I guess, commercial or homebrew talent in this room. We kind of knocked it out of the park. And then you'll get people in the comment section like, why is it not fermenting? This beer tasted like shit. It doesn't like do that. I'm like, I don't know. You suck at brewing. I don't know what to tell you. Like it was good on our end. I can't. You ever get that? Like, fuck you, dude. No offense, but it was Tom. It was Tom Alvarado. No, I'm just kidding. He's in here. I don't know. It was good on our end. We're not lying to you. We're not selling beer at Trader Joe's and Vaughn's. You don't get that
Yeah,
though?
I mean, no, I'll have people, I'll have people message me on Instagram and give me like the same question that everybody has
What
when
do
they
I
first
buy?
start
What
brewing.
do I
It's like,
buy?
well, no, it's like I think it's not doing anything. The beer's not doing anything. Is it fermenting? Is it done? How do I know if it's done? I'm not sure what's happening. What's happening in the
No.
bucket? I can't see in there. I don't know.
No. You got to create a
I
Discord. That's
just
what Discords are for. Hell
yeah.
no. I'm not writing anybody back on Instagram. Fuck no. That's
They
my nightmare.
so
Random people texting you at dinner or something like, "Hey, how come it's doing? Do I buy a plastic
I
spoon
don't.
or a metal spoon?" I don't
Yeah,
know.
honestly, I don't. I get a
You,
lot less than you would think.
I
Like
tell him
I'm
to
kind of surprised.
I tell him to DM Trent the Brew Show. Hey, this is my personal page. Send him over here. Don't
Yeah,
ever hit anybody up on Instagram asking questions.
you know what people will do though is they do send a lot of emails, so Emmett gets a lot of that. It's probably because like
That's
Emmett gets
cool.
bears the brunt of it because we have an email, like if we have a website, so they can go to the website. But here's the thing, man, like we sell equipment, we sell brewing equipment. So if someone buys the system from us and they do a recipe and it doesn't work out or they have a question, like we answer the question. And I'm not like trying to do a sales pitch or anything. But like that's probably, I mean, honestly, I've never bought anything from other brewery supply companies, so I don't really, and I've never emailed them asking them questions. But that is one of the things that sets us apart is like, if you like buy our system, for example, like, and you have a question, if you send a message to Instagram, like I get that message, that's me, and I own the company, and I've brewed, 100 batches, hundreds of batches. I've been brewing with this system for years. And then if you email us or call us, you talk to Emmett. And he does get a lot of questions, and so like we actually do answer those questions, to an extent. We try to like document as much stuff as we can on the website, and then we like flip people over to the website, if it's something specific that's answered there.
I mean, I think.
But if you ask me,
Let's hear it.
if you ask me a question, like the question that I get most commonly is on Instagram is questions about like the specifics of the brew day, of like, hey, what was the OG of this beer that you brewed 3 years ago? You didn't mention it, or like stuff like that, technical stuff about the recipe. And I typically say, well, first of all, I don't know, because I personally don't brew that way. I'm not a very technical, like, I just like to throw stuff in the kettle and throw some random yeast in there and let the magic happen. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I like to brew. And second of all, it's 3 years ago. I don't know. So I
Yeah,
probably didn't write it down.
and I'm not trying to sound like a dick right now, but there's also the format of that. Like if I'm on YouTube, I'm on my desktop and I want to answer everyone's question, and I will. I'll like if I
Yeah, yeah.
can. But if it's on
Right.
Instagram, I went back to flip phone I was showing you yesterday, so I don't get it when I'm out, but it still kind of just upsets me. Not upsets me, but because I still use Instagram from my desktop. But it's almost kind of like a texting format. People are like, "Hey, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do right now?" It's like, dude, I'm out with friends right now, and if I write one question back, the floodgate could be open. 20 more questions could come. It's like, hey, I get it. When I started brewing, I had a lot of questions. We all did. But I would hit up like my best friends.
Right.
I would bug them. I'm not going to hit up
Yeah, right,
the
right.
owner of the brewery or the homebrew store or the homebrew club. Like, hey, man, like, do I buy this? Do I buy this? Do I buy that? What's the best way to get started? I was like, no, I'm just going to bug. And I knew when I was kind of overstepping my bounds. So it's all good. Like we have the Discord, and this is
Yeah.
what I love about the Hoppy Hour. If anybody has any questions in here, whether
Yeah.
you're extract or you're advanced or you're old style, new style, you want to ferment in a glass fermenter that costs $200, that's cool. Put the question in the chat. Me and Kyle are talking, and we're talking a little bit with the chat, but somebody will answer it for you. And I guarantee you it's going to be a pretty good answer. So there's a lot. I know we live in a world where
Yeah.
everybody wants, the information right then and right now. And You know, back in the day, you know, I always talk about, you know, if you text somebody and they don't write you back after 5 minutes, they're an asshole. But back in the day, we had to wait like 2 weeks for that email or that T-shirt to come. You know, there wasn't always Amazon Prime and red receipts on emails and texts and stuff like that.
Listen, if you have any question, just write me a letter. I'll respond.
Yeah.
It'll come in the mail, have a sweet stamp on it. It'll be 3 weeks from now, and you'll get your question answered.
And just text at the Brew Show if you want it right now, preferably from midnight to 4 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. Trent does that though in his videos. He's like, if you guys have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. I was like, dude, you're crazy. You gonna put your phone number on there? You gonna put like, I don't know, because that's pretty much what it is. I mean, if people can just get a hold of you on your phone, whether it's text message or Instagram, same kind of difference.
I see a question that says, I see a question that's asking, what's on the horizon? Are we gonna make a 10-gallon system? I'm not sure what they mean by that. We had our brew system's 10 gallons.
It is 10 gallons.
I mean, it's 10.5 gallons. I'm curious about, you know, like, this is probably a bad actually place to ask this question. I should just
there's no bad ideas. No, what's going on?
We're actually talking about doing a couple new things. I'm curious what people think about fermenting like in kegs exclusively. We've been talking about doing a fermenter like beyond, like we just ferment in plastic buckets. And
you do too?
I don't know, man. Yeah, buddy.
You ferment in plastic buckets too?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am gonna make the video making fun of Josh Wiseman. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Well, I mean, you know, these fermenters, they look like they can like time travel. They're so complicated, man.
R2D2.
They're, like, ridiculous. And I'm not knocking anybody who's into that
I am
stuff. I mean, if you like the, you know, you bought this crazy fermenter, and if it does stuff, if you like it and it works well for you, like, more power to you. But I think we're kind of thinking about like a less is more type approach where we can double up on, you know, a piece of equipment which will allow you to, you know, get more out of it essentially. So like we have this idea where we're going to make, like, our fermenters are going to just be kegs. You'll have a couple kegs laying around.
I think that's the way to go.
Also be your fermenters.
I agree with that. I think that's pretty much the way to go, unless you're doing a nitro beer.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I brewed today, and I have this biggest fear. When I worked at Booze Brothers back in the day, we didn't know that. Okay, I brewed today. I didn't ferment under pressure. I went back to the anvil bucket. There's no spunning valve. It's just a blow-off tube, because every pretty much commercial fermenter is a uni tank, and it's going to hold that pressure in there, that natural CO2, and it's not going to let it escape. When you put beer gas on 70-30, we wasted so much beer. It would take 20 minutes to pour a nitro beer. We didn't know that if it's got too much CO2 in it, it ruins the whole pretty much keg. You're going to just over pour, and we would legitimately pour like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Put them on the bar, wait for 10 minutes, and let them settle out and keep pouring them, because we didn't know at the time that we had to like release a lot of pressure from from the commercial fermenters. So how I brewed today is I did not use, what you're talking about. You're talking about fermenting, pretty much kind of making a all-in-one. I did not use that because I want the least amount of CO2. What's the natural CO2 just that goes off the airlock? Maybe like 1 or 2 PSI. Like, that's all I want. And then I'm putting this next beer on nitro, and I don't want to have to waste any of this beer because I only do 5-gallon batches. That's
gotcha.
Yeah. So, long story short, anybody who's wants to do a beer on nitro, do not do it in a uni tank. Do not use a spunning valve. Let all of that CO2 out. Do not contain any of that natural CO2 gas, or else you're going to waste a lot of beer, a lot of fucking beer. and we do 5-gallon batches.
Let's see here.
What's up?
Yeah.
Portly
Beer
gentlemen.
gas is what?
Beer gas is a nightmare too.
It's like 75, 25, something like that.
Yeah, and it's about $50. It's about $52 at the assholes down there at Airgas in Lake San Marcos. Fuck these guys. I want to make like a vlog where I just go in there and like they are the biggest assholes on planet Earth. And the funny thing about that is they only deal with like a couple people a day. It's not like the DMV where you just got guys coming in and out next. Every time I'm in there, I'm the only one in there, and they're still such assholes to me. I'm like, aren't you kind of stoked to see a customer? I mean, like just anybody, you know? I don't know. I hate those two places.
Nitrogen's free. It's in the air. I'm breathing it right now.
It's not
charging this much money.
It's not because it costs money, CO2, or nitrogen's actually cheaper than CO2. It's because there's so less beer gases. Like nitro isn't popular at all in San Diego anymore. So they do them like 20 at a time, or they fill up whatever, a whole line of 50 tanks at a time. So you're just paying for that, like, I guess that labor, whatever, another half an hour of labor. But it's so scarce now that they pretty much turned every brewery off that ever wanted to do nitro, because they're like, hey, it's too much of a hassle. It costs 3 times the price, and we can't just swap a keg out. Sometimes you're like, come back in a week. You're like, fuck, man, brutal.
Yeah. Hey, dude, would you mind? I wouldn't mind pouring another beer and actually taking a leak. I drank about a half a gallon of water before we started doing this.
Dude, that's what the Mbc'S button's for.
What's it?
You want to see it right now? Are you watching YouTube right now? What's the MBC? He said. Are you watching the YouTube right now?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Say it.
M.
No.
B.
Just say it.
C.
All right. Taco time. NBC, man. Shout out to 77 people here right now. Usually I'm kind of more of a dick off on these things and I'm hitting a little bit more buttons, but this is I haven't talked to Kyle since yesterday. We've never talked. Never, ever talked. Short Circuit of Brian comes on. We could fuck with each other a little bit more. Trent Bra Show. Yeast in the Barrage. What's up, Homebrew Moron? What's up, David Collette? Party Time Brewing in the house. Check out Party Time Brewing. He's got a cool channel. He's up there in Canada. His content's getting killer. It's getting much better. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, James. Whit Kaufman, NBC rules. I need to do a whole new NBC montage. I've got the clips. I just watched that movie Sideways the other day with Paul Giamatti after he finds out his book doesn't get published. And he just takes like all of the wine that everybody spits out, chugs it, puts it over his head. Artillery! Jonathan Elliott, what's up, you brunch? Eddie Butler, what's up? Ask him if people tell him he looks like Rob Lowe. You ask him. I'll ask him. We'll ask him together. Shout out to everybody who helped out last weekend. That was cool. Bodian's Brews, Josephied. I put you guys in the description of this video. Thanks for producing this video. Really quick, tomorrow night we're having on Tommy, new brewery in San Marcos called Blue Fire Grill. He's a barrage. What's up, Chris Vodka? What's up, brunch? Somebody wants to let you know, Kyle, you there? Kyle,
yeah, can you hear me?
Has anybody?
Yo.
Someone wants to know. Yeah, has anybody ever told you you look like Rob Lowe?
No, that's a new one. I get the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like too often. Not as much anymore, but
you know what?
No.
You know what's crazy?
That's a no.
And you're not gonna believe me. I get when I shave my beard, I look like Hilary Swank from Boys Don't Cry. I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, I'm probably fatter now, But back in the day, I kind of had that weird kind of looking Theo Von, Tom Brady thing going on. All right, Rob. Okay, we got about. Kyle, can you do another beer or two? We're coming up on the 90 minutes that you gave me. I know you've got
bud.
businesses and families and yada yada yada. Later, Kurt Pick. Later, Brush. David Colette, what's up? Charlie from Always Sunny. That's an insult full on Rob Lowe. I got my cat back there. Kyle, can you hold down the chat while I go feed my cat really fast? There's 85 people here. This is one of the most we've ever had on the Hoppy Hour. And I said we were going to do it on Homebrew for Life, but everything was already kind of set up. There's a couple software things in regards to YouTube profiles. So,
damn.
But what do you got back there?
Kegerator, dude. It's not actually it's not a kegerator. It's a mini fridge with two kegs in it.
I mean, it's a kegerator if you've got the what's the weekend thing called? What's the
like
it's a weekend.
It doesn't
vibe.
have like a tap. It doesn't have a tap on it.
No, but it's got the thing you would bring to the park or the bay or something.
Oh, a picnic tap. Yeah, sure.
Picnic tap. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle, answer questions. I'll be right back. I got to feed my cat. That's not code for anything.
Yeah,
I actually have to feed my cat.
Okay, hurry back because this is weird. Yeah, Dennis, man, that's the Always Sunny reference person who's referenced often. We actually made the Dios Dorado beer that we did a long time ago on our channel. It was the El Dorado, and we made that beer. We themed that video like we did because I kept getting people commenting in the comments of our videos about the fact that they thought that I looked like Dennis from It's Always Sunny. So I thought, okay, well, let's do like a thing where we kind of tease It's Always Sunny. And so one of his like pseudonyms in the show is the Golden God, is what he calls himself. So Dios Dorado is the Golden God. That's what it translates into. We put some quotes in there. We did one or two more things, and then the one last thing that nobody ever commented on was the fact that I reworked the theme song from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on my little OP1 synthesizer back there, and that actually plays a couple times throughout the video, and nobody ever caught that. But folks did catch other things that were in there. Yeah, have we ever made the marshmallow with extra toasted marshmallow? No, we haven't. I do want to redo that beer and add some more marshmallows. We did get some marshmallow extract from Olive Nation, and haven't used it yet, but we're gonna try that out as well. The foeder barrel, we have it up and running. It's full, it's hydrated, it's holding water. We haven't put anything in it. That's been a goal of ours, but Ross has been out of town. I've been out of town. Emmett's been camping and stuff on vacation. So, yeah, I haven't done it, but we're gonna do that. And then we have like two 55-gallon barrels, sour barrels from the New Belgium cellar. Out back of the office, so I'm gonna fill those up as well. I can't see I'm not able to scroll through these comments. I'm not tech savvy enough or something, but the apartment brewer apparently asked a question. I can't see that. If somebody could repeat that, that'd be real cool. The pumpkin beer recipe, man, if you guys are looking for a good pumpkin beer recipe, go make the first pumpkin beer that we did like 3 years ago, the sour pumpkin beer. man, so good. Absolutely. Just that was one of my favorite beers that we've ever made. That was a great beer, and I'm not like into pumpkin beer type stuff, and that was really good. Yeah, we are brewing. We're brewing at least one and maybe two fresh hopped beers soon. Okay, got it. Yeah, so Ross is growing 3 types of hops in his on the side of his house. So if you watch one of the most recent, maybe the most recent video we did.
No, your most recent one was essential oils, and then it was the hop video before that.
Before that,
yeah,
sure. So the one before that, Ross was about Ross growing hops, and we're gonna brew beer with those hops. And then my buddy Jack, who owns a farm north of Asheville, has a bunch of land. He built this kind of like, the best way to describe it would be this sort of like hillbilly Stonehenge kind of wooden structure made out of black locust trees around this little tiny house that he has up there. He planted a bunch of hops along the post there, and they're kind of growing up and around it, and he has a bunch of hops up there right now. So we're gonna probably do 2 fresh hop beers in the near future, I would say. That's gonna be like, I've never done a fresh hop beer. You know, we've used whole leaf hops, but we've never done a fresh hop beer.
watch that mash tun clog on the whole leaf, man. I learned the hard way twice.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll let you. Well,
I got a question for you. I'm reading. Do you subscribe to Craft Beer and Brewing magazine? I'm gonna pull you up. It's a good magazine.
Yeah.
Here, let me get you in here a little bit more. Here, let me go this route, something like that. So they were talking about this brewery. I forget what it's called, but ultimately it was an article on hop oil and correct me if I'm wrong. Terpenes. Pretty much just like, they're saying in 10 years from now, all hops will be pretty much in liquid form. I agree with that. What's your stance on that? I mean, I already see it with cryo hops and then, freezing stuff and taking stuff apart and just getting the pretty much THC out of the leaf. It's kind of going the same thing as marijuana in my guesstimate. Where do you see that being fact or fiction?
dude, honestly, I don't know, man, because crazy as it may sound, I've never brewed a beer with like the hop oil extract. We just haven't done that.
Either have I.
There's some things.
Yeah,
there's some stuff we haven't done. So, I mean, I'd have to do that first. We've done some cryo hop stuff, but like, it wasn't anything that we thought, oh yeah, this is definitely what we need to be doing.
And it's still kind of the same thing. It's like, I understand that if you brew with whole leaf hops or you brew with pellets, and today I used just 1 pellet of actual Northern Brewer hop in my hop basket, and I pulled it out, and it absorbs a bunch of beer. You're not going to get that with liquid or hop oil or resin oil or however they do it. I lose a little bit of beer. There's a little bit of mud that, but I don't know. It's like, if you want cryo hops, it's just like twice the price. If you just want the extract, it's going to be whatever the price is to get 4 ounces of whatever hops was there. So I if the money thing just kind of breaks even, what's the point? As long as your mash isn't getting clogged consistently or something like that. That's ultimately, I think, why hops, not ultimately, but, whole leaf going to pellet and form, stuff like that. But I mean, what's the point unless there's like a price break? You're only losing a little bit of beer from the hop absorbing the liquid. So I don't know.
Right.
Do you ever think like it's tough Clawhammer's like we've just ran out of ideas? Because I think about that all the time, but then I'll read Craft Beer and Brewing. I'm like, these guys have a way tougher job than anybody. They have to make a magazine every month that's like brand new IPA and brand new. You're like, dude, there's only kind of so many things in beer before you're just kind of repeating it. And I guess you could probably say that about Rolling Stone magazine or Glamour or stuff. It's like there's only so many things in the world going on. You just have to be like, all right, Jimi Hendrix was 50 today. John Lennon on the cover again, you know, like let's put John Lennon on the cover for the 40th time. So
so here's how we deal with it. Yeah, we kind of reached a point of burnout in our video production process a while back, where we're in a good spot right now. To go back to that question you asked earlier about like what's my all-time favorite video, no one's like, everybody hated this video, man. When we put it out, we got bad comments on it. Like people fucking messaged us about it on Instagram.
I gotta know
the Amarillo Pale Ale video. That's one of my favorite videos, because it's just like really weird and bizarre, and there's just a lot of like strange, video editing type stuff that goes in there.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. Amarillo Pale.
It's Amarillo. It's an Amarillo Pale Ale.
I'm a gringo.
Video. It was just like kind of a fun, weird, kind of Tim and Eric-y kind of video. We did a couple of videos.
It's recent. I've seen this one. Oh, you're wearing the turtleneck. You're wearing something.
Yeah,
you got something. You got something. That was your mask. Okay. Green on green.
That was a gator. Yeah. But that people were like, okay, yeah, dude, like this is really weird, and you guys aren't really talking about brewing so much, and it's kind of like a mild acid trip vibe you got going on here, and we're not really into it. And, but it was just like kind of that's the kind of stuff we do to entertain ourselves, really.
And you have to do that. You have to do that because we talked yesterday. It's like, how many times can you shoot the same shots of like, strike water or going in? It's like I could do 1 grain of glass video a month because I've already done 50 or 60 of the things. Let's just do anything different. Let's do an acid trip video. Let's do a blind taste contest video. Let's do a food video. Let's do a vlog. Let's go to a brewery and just fuck with people. Like anything but a grain of glass video, even though we both know that those get the most views.
Right.
You just got to have fun and mix it up.
Dude, are we able to scroll through the questions at all, or they just kind of pop up and go?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think you can go back.
I'm not.
Why? Did you see one you liked?
I guess I'm doing it on my phone. Somebody asked about like the hat that I was wearing. I was wondering what they were.
Let me pull this video up. Amarillo Pale. Who filmed this?
Is it Amarillo? I thought it was Amarillo. Is it Amarillo?
Oh, dude, you are on drugs in this. It's all like matrixed out. Binary. Yeah. Who edits this? This is killer, man. Who puts in like the matrix stuff?
So
damn, you guys did get some trolls. 160 thumbs downs. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What were they butthurt about?
Actually, I can't open that. Yeah, that's probably our most thumbs down we've ever had in a video. I don't know. They just didn't like the style of the editing. Lawson edited that one, but I shot a bunch of stuff.
Job.
I said like, here's a bunch of weird, like I was like, Lawson, here's a bunch of weird shots of me doing these things, and this is what I want you to do with it, and make it weird.
Dude, this is a really good video. I'm just scrolling through it. I'm skimming through it.
Weird.
Who's the guy sitting in front of the TV right here? You're on TV.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like that's the kind of stuff that like entertains me.
I don't think I learned anything from this video other than Kyle's gotten better at editing. At least it was entertaining. Well, Kyle didn't edit the video. Love the new video. Crazy kids. Keep up the good work. 10 out of 10. Production quality. If you ain't making a mess, you ain't brewing. I love it. I'm really glad to see a new video. The most interesting video you've ever seen. Most fun I've had all week. So this is at the end. Okay, here's a troll. So this is at the end result when you've been quarantined too long. 20 thumbs up. I love the trolls because you got to appreciate that any comment is helping the algorithm. When people tell me I sound like a retarded Nicolas Cage, I'm like, hey, that counts. Like that, right. I get that probably once a week. I do not know how at all that Do you think I sound like Nicolas Cage? Or a retarded version of Nicolas Cage? Thank you. I know. I get it once a week. I get it once a week. Yeah, I get it once a week. I'm gonna make a video of it. Joseph Ide donated $20, man. Shout out to Joseph Ide, man. After this, me and Kyle are gonna go on Zoom and watch The Rock and Face Off after this, and see if I do sound like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't watched a Nicolas Cage video in quite a while.
Emmett is super crushable. Gosh, these quarantine videos are so fucked up, but I love it. Okay, that's not a troll.
There we go.
This goes into
I mean, that's probably one of the that's probably the potentially the highest number of thumbs down we had on any brewing video. But that's one of my favorite videos. I loved that video. I was like so happy about that video when we put it out.
I'm gonna smoke a bunch of weed and watch this tonight.
You definitely should. Yeah, that's the best.
I think you're all going mental like me. This is what I subscribe for. I mean, more often than not, you know, I can't even tell you what our biggest trolled video was. Sometimes we just do weird shit, and Maury will be talking, and I'll just go up and rub his beard or do some weird shit to him, and people, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's just too weird for them or homophobic or something like that, and they'll leave some stuff. If we don't put an Mbc in a video, we'll get comments for that. David Heath actually hit me up. Do you know who David Heath is? His channel, the guy from
Yeah, I definitely watch some of his videos.
Yeah, he's got a different vibe. He doesn't focus on the entertainment. He's like the Professor Xavier. And he's actually helped me out with a lot of questions and stuff like that. You know, I hit up pretty much a lot of the brew tubers. You know, kind of we were talking about yesterday, working with brands, the do's, the don'ts, the cringe, the level of, you know, how far we're willing to go, integrity versus money. Short-circuited Brian, you know, and the same conversation pretty much me and you had talking about. Here, let me go back to this. Something like that. Just kind of you know, vouching for a product too early or something. And I'll just say it now, the Catalyst Fermenter, we made that video kind of on the fly. And then we took some heat for that. People were like, hey, this thing's overpriced. It's kind of a piece of shit. But just at the time, we were so happy that a brand hit us up and was like, hey, we want to send this to you for free. And we're like, yeah, oh shit. Now CH has to edit it for 45 hours, which pretty much comes out to $2 an hour. And oh, but okay, people still want to send us free stuff. But it's yeah, but it took me 40 hours to edit. At the end of the day, we both lost. You know, we put out a shitty product. It wasted my week. The brand, you know, it's a $200 piece of plastic fermenter. And then people probably bought it from watching our videos, and it's just all bad. And I talked to Brian from Short Circuited. He's like, I've never got any money. All my reviews are honest. And I was like, I need to do that from here on out. And we just did the Mr. Beer video. It sucked. And I just said, you know, if you really want to start out brewing, get an extract kit. Don't get a glass carboy, yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, I think it's kind of our jobs, every brew tuber in here, to keep people brewing, because it's such a passion as a fashion hobby where people fall out, you know, and I think it's kind of our job to keep people brewing. And I don't know. That's kind of how I just feel about it. So, you know, Mr. Beer, if you make a Mr. Beer kit, it's probably going to suck. It's going to taste like shit. You're going to bottle it and do all this, you know, buy bottles and spend 2 more weeks priming it and, you know, letting it sit in a hallway closet while 2 or 3 bottles are going to explode. You're probably not going to come back to home brewing. If you just did it right the first time, just start with an extract kit and then just get to kegging as fast as you can and use Kvike yeast so you don't have to wait 2 weeks or whatever because you want to drink beer. That's kind of the pulse of Homebrew for Life, is let's just get people brewing faster, cheaper. That's it. Faster and cheaper and better.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's great. I think every homebrew channel has its own niche. For example,
Absolutely.
Brian's channel. If you want to know something about equipment, he's done tons of equipment reviews. Martin's
Wow.
channel, the homebrew challenge. I mean, dude brewed every single beer style.
That's
So if you
crazy to
want some
me.
ideas on brewing beer,
It's
you check
crazy to
his.
me.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I could never
And
do
then
that.
every Yeah, and then 90 probably percent of people, maybe there's some exceptions to the rule that will start out and they'll just go out and buy a bunch of expensive stuff, but most people start out brewing extract beers with the Mr. Beer Kit or something like that. So yeah, it's super cool. And then, and then they don't ever buy like a big fancy system or anything. They just kind of pull stuff together that works for them. And yeah, that's like one of the things that your channel is great for. Like that video you did the other day on, here are the things that you should be scouring the web for, that you can probably get at a good discount that will improve your efficiency and
Don't
make your
buy
beer
new.
better. And yeah,
And we talked about this yesterday. Like, I've always said that there's pretty much like 5 classes of homebrewers. Like Brad Portly Gentleman's in the chat right now. Like, he's got a phenomenal system. He spends a lot of money on homebrewing stuff. It's very nice. It's just not how I brew. There's no right, there's no wrong. I talked to you yesterday. I was like, Spike wants to send us a CFI conical, or somebody wants to send us $1,000 glycol chiller. It completely goes against like all the videos we've ever made. Like, we can't make like how to make a $3 plastic fermenter food grade bucket and then be like, hey, but check out this like $1,500 glycol contraption, link in bio, and we'll get a couple. We'll get a couple, like, you guys are selling out, yada yada yada. When I would do stuff like that, not like the CF5 or the CF10 or whatever, but just any kind of collab or something. But like, we've kind of painted ourselves in this corner where like we can't really have nice homebrew stuff over here. Ultimately, like, we cannot have the Ferrari of homebrew stuff. We have to have the 1996 Toyota Tacoma, which I have. Which I have one of those. And it's all good and everything, but it's cool to get free stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like you just said, it's like different homebrewing channels have like pretty much different pulses. Some are reviews,
yeah,
some are high end, some are grain to glass, some are review. And at the end of the day, like, my favorite videos are just the hacks, just
yeah,
a $3 sparge arm. Those are my favorite homebrew for life videos, because you could always spend
right.
$75 on the plastic spindle thing that they sell at the homebrew store. But if you have a little sense of, if you're a little bit industrious and you're like, okay, that's PVC pipe, that's some metal, that's okay, maybe a drill piece I could get at Harbor Freight, I can make that for 1/10 of the price, and it's only going to waste an hour of my life. Like, that's kind of homebrew
Yeah,
for life. So,
yeah.
and at the end of the day, there's no right and there's no wrong.
Yeah, true. I think the best way to brew is the way that you like to brew
Sure.
beer.
Absolutely.
The best beer is the beer that you like the most, and the best way to drink it is the way you like to drink it.
And it comes down to ultimately like cooking. Like Brian from Short Circuited, it's like you could buy the nicest knives or the nicest this. It's like ultimately like you still need the experience. It's like the only thing you cannot Google on planet Earth is experience. Everything else you can Google. But, once you know the
Yeah.
trial and error and the plan Bs of situations and game time decisions on the fly, you can't really do that unless you have the trial and error experience.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to say a couple people have mentioned in the comments
What do you got?
that your audio's high, my audio's low.
I'll turn
Am I
mine
cool?
down.
Like,
All right, I'll turn mine down.
yeah, let me know if I need to do anything.
I'm going through Discord as well, so it might be a little bit different, but I just turned mine down. I could probably pull it up in... Okay, so I've got H6 over here, and I've got audio. Can you give me something?
Yo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yep. Audio out. I think we're good. You're at negative 6.8
Sweet.
decibels, and I'm at probably about the same right now. I think we should be okay right now.
Cool.
Sorry about that, guys. The best beer is the beer that's in front of me. That should be a T-shirt. That should be printed on somewhere above the inside of Beverages and More.
What's it? I think one of the Tom Waits lyrics is, "I don't want another drink. I just want a little bit more of the last."
I like it. Tom Waits is the man. Apartment Brewer says much better, man. Hunger Force Beats, perfect. All right, sounds better now. Sorry about that, guys.
Sweet.
That's what happens when you don't have a producer. I mean, you guys are the producer. You guys just let us know that it needed some adjusting. Shout out to Captain TJ, Shane Layton. I told you it goes by fast, huh? Do you want to do another beer, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm about halfway through this one.
Okay, I'm going to do one more, but it's what, 10 o'clock your time?
Do one more, man.
Or are you doing okay? All right, hold it down.
Yeah, we're good.
Hold it down. We'll do an NBC after this.
Yep, holding it down. I'll hold it down. Need a Nintendo Tappers reference. Is that what are we talking about the video game Tappers? This is not an exaggeration. Emmett and I literally almost got arrested one night because of the arcade game Tappers. That's a story for another time, but that is a true story. Almost got arrested. I want to ask some questions. I'm not able to scroll through it, so I'd look at some of the old stuff, but I cannot do that. Do not have scroll power. Scroll technology. If you want to know about the Clawhammer system, the hat. If you want to know about the Clawhammer system, I mean, just check out the website. I saw somebody, or our videos. I mean, I saw somebody asking me to, give reasons why I would buy the system earlier. I mean, honestly, like, I would just ask other folks who have the system why they ended up buying it. I don't know, because I don't have a spike system. I don't have an SS Brewtech system. I've definitely brewed, 3-tier beer, and I brew in a bag beer, and I personally much prefer brew in a bag. That's just, like, in my opinion, that is absolutely the way to go. And yeah, I mean, I guess just, watch the videos. You'll get the gist of what we do and how the equipment works and whatnot. I really can't say much more than that as far as selling it. That hat that the gray hat, yeah, I still wear the hat. I love that hat. It's a wool hat made by Abex. It's like super warm and rad. People did not. That's the other thing that people did not like in our videos, is that hat, which is funny to us. But dude, it's a wool hat. What's your hat made out of?
Talking about me?
Plastic?
Talking
No,
to me? I'm back from the dead.
Somebody asked a question about this video that I did where I was wearing this gray wool Ibex hat. It was a sweet hat, man. So warm, so rad. And I think people were like, "Is that a joke?" That's good. I love that hat.
The good thing about the internet is that anybody could put out content. The bad thing about the internet is that everybody has a voice now. Every single person with a smartphone or a computer is now pretty much a politician, because they could say something and people could buy into it or whatever. Every single person on planet Earth has a voice now. Very good, very bad. I just bought the system and I'm ecstatic about it. Way better than just a kettle and propane burner. Aubrey Heyer.
Wait.
In the house. I can't super chat either. We pulled the plug on the super chat. We just do it through Streamlabs now. But nobody worry about the super chat. I don't like the fact that YouTube takes way too much money of it. But we're chilling. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. I think this is the most people we've ever had on the Hoppy Hour. We got 91 on 93 on my end. Cheers to Kyle. Cheers to everybody who's in here right now. Kyle, you having a good time? Were you nervous, kind of coming on, or you're a YouTuber, you don't get nervous.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have not really disliked doing this like several years back, but yeah, it's just being in front of the camera is kind of second nature.
You just get immune to it, it's like it's kind of weird because it's everyone's kind of got experience talking in front of classroom and people growing up because we just had to do it. But still, like, the camera is just this, it's kind of like staring at the sun, except that it doesn't burn your eyeballs. And I don't care because I've known that sense, and Maury doesn't care. But I have friends that they'll come over in the height of winter, the coldest night, and we'll put them in there in front of my shitty little green screen. We got 2 lights in the rafters, and they'll just start immediately sweating, like sweating to the point where I have to get them a towel and a brand new T-shirt because we're supposed to go out after this. It's like it's just It's just a weird thing, And I always thought like acting was overrated. Like kids could do it. Like how hard could it be? But it's like you just have to know that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
You just have to know that sense, and you're not doing stand-up comedy. There's not 200 people at Clawhammer as a live audience or in my garage, but it's still like it's just you just gotta show the camera who's boss. You just gotta, I don't know, take out whatever anger, problems in your life. I just take it out on the camera. Like I just like, this is like, I'm just gonna vent through this Sony kit lens or whatever. I don't know. That's how I look at it. That's what I do.
Dude, I just wanted to say, man, I really enjoy the style of your videos. I like the fact that you do. I love the humor, man. Like I was saying earlier, I watch all, the brewing channels I watch for different reasons generally. And like yours is something that like, yeah, you have great information in the videos. But I really enjoy the humor. I like the and I love like the editing and the flow, the narrative. Like I think the thing that really makes it is the narrative that you kind of, you lay down and you do a bunch of B-roll, and it's just like the quick pace and the quick humor, like the jokes that the kind of like the little mini joke grenades that you get a couple seconds after you hear them. I love that kind of stuff.
I appreciate that. And we take a lot of heat for our videos, so I really do appreciate that because there's been some pretty... I haven't gone through hell with Homebrew for Life, but I've gotten in a lot of trouble with buddies' wives and maybe buddies' breweries that somebody's talked shit about their beer, said their IPA wasn't good. And I appreciate the good feedback because we do kind of say some off-the-wall shit and go for blood. But that's like when we first started Homebrew for Life, we did kind of the whole, hi, how are you? Like smash that like button. This is like CH from Homebrew for Life. Like come on down. And then I think when we started kind of being ourselves more, I think it resonated with people more. You didn't have to be like, do you watch the Craft Brew channel? It's the English guys that are all like, hi, let's be best friends, like right now. Like PewDiePie, like hi, like hey, ah. Like I thought every YouTuber had to be like that. Like come on down, ah, smash the buttons. Right. And the more I was watching these guys, and yeah, they have a ton of subscribers and the Patreon, and I think they're successful. I can look at their channel and I could tell that they're not homebrewers. They know about beer. They know about talking beer. They don't know about making beer. I could sniff that bullshit out pretty fast. But I would look at their channel and I would think like, I'm not going to do this. And not only am I not going to do this, I'm going to be like the exact opposite of this. Like, let's throw in a couple outtakes and see let's read the comments. Or people like, you guys are fucking idiots. You're not funny. You're obnoxious. Or people are like, hey, like your stupid intros are like my favorite part. And I'm like, okay, well, now let's just do it again. And it started out as like, today we're gonna picking up just audio levels, and we would just say just this weird off the wall shit. And now it's like, hey, let's actually like write for this part. Like let's write like today we're gonna I don't know. Today we want to be proud of you. Today we want to run with the shadows of the night. Today we want to refund to our Pat Benatar concert. I don't know. We just throughout the day, like people would send me shit like that, and it just evolved into like pretty much just one giant outtake. But there's always kind of like, you could still might be able to learn something from this video. Like we make the food videos. I don't even put the recipe in the description anymore. No one's going to follow along this shit.
Yeah.
They just want to see Maury like blacked out, or the mandatory beer chug shot or something.
Yeah, I do love the mandatory beer chug.
Thanks, man.
The MBC, yeah, I wasn't picking up what you were saying there earlier, but
MBC.
yeah, I was actually I showed that to my wife last night.
What the fuck?
She was actually not a fan. I was like, dude, check this montage out. I love this montage, and she was just like,
no. If you look at our analytics, it's like 99.999% male, and then 0.0001 female, ages 25 to 44. So, and you know what's funny is like if you go to the merch store, I've got like women's merch. It's like, what this is the stupidest fucking idea of all time. Like I don't have a viewer, and I'm supposed to push this like bikini summer thing or something. It's not happening.
Yeah. So when we did a collaboration with Sarah Flora, a video, and like I was telling you yesterday's, and she was in town here in Asheville.
Papa lives in Atlanta.
So I was talking to Sarah. I was really curious we were talking like audience analytics, and I was assuming like she had more female followers, because we have, I think it's like 96% male or something like that. Here's this 99. So
male.
All male. Yeah.
Oh, so she gets the weird DMs all day.
Probably. Hey, I saw a question in the chat that I'm really curious about. Somebody said, is White Lab's yeast bank saving or ruining beer?
Sounds like a
and
weird
I'm
question.
Curious. Yeah, I'm curious what they meant by that. What do you make of that? I think the yeast bank is like, I think the yeast bank is like a super cool, interesting concept, I guess.
What is the yeast bank?
Okay, so the yeast bank is a bunch of yeast that White Labs has collected that they're not actively producing. So I'm not sure how many yeast types of yeast are in the yeast bank. Let me just look it up here.
Okay.
So let's just say they have several hundred yeast in the yeast bank, like several hundred types of yeast that they're not currently producing, like manufacturing regularly.
Okay.
And what you can do is you can actually, oh man, did they say bank or vault? I thought they meant yeast vault. I'm talking about the yeast vault, which is a bunch of yeast that they have collected that they are not currently producing. So, yeah, I guess I don't know what they mean by that then.
I have no idea how to chime in positive or negative with that. I hope you guys get your own White Labs yeast. I know you guys collab with White Labs. I want to see a Clawhammer White Labs
sure.
0508. Can we talk about that? Even though everything I say, can we talk about? I just brought the cat out of the bag.
So we have a.
I want a White Labs yeast.
So we're working on a collaboration with them right now. I'm sure they don't mind. We're going to harvest some yeast here locally. So we're actually going to go up on the Blue Ridge Parkway, beautiful section in the Appalachian Mountains, and go up to some like blueberry fields on top of a mountain, pick some blueberries, bring them down, take them over to White Labs, and they're going to basically investigate to see if there's any natural like yeast living on the blueberries, which there probably will be. And they're going to isolate the yeast, propagate it, give us some, and we're going to brew beer with it. And if it's good, if it's an ethanol tolerant strain of yeast, then they're going to put that in their yeast vaults, and people will be able to buy that yeast. They'll be able to basically like pre-order it, and once there are enough orders for it, they'll make a batch, they'll do a run, and send it to everybody. Which will be super cool. I hope we end up with something good. I think they're only going to keep it if it's good, essentially. So
How do you think White Lab still does? Because when they first came out, they had what, probably about 50 to 60 different yeasts, and then
oh, dude, I'm sure.
I've used probably
ahead.
like 15 of them. I remember like Cali 001 was obviously the biggest one, and then what was the London Fog, like 510, and then
Sure.
I remember working at a place and they had the White Labs poster and it showed you like all 100 of them, and I was just like, this is rad, but this is kind of a lot. And I think that what's the company that puts out all of their yeasts in like Skittles colored bags? Omega? Like Hornindal and Lutra.
Yeah. I believe that's Omega.
That's Omega. So they had like just way better marketing. They just had like, hey, we're going to do 10 yeast. And it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
if you want to do this, if you want to do a Saison, you use that. You don't have to figure out 14 different Saison yeasts. You know, it's just like, okay, you know, to the, not even naked eye, to the brewer like me, it's like, just give me the, what's the best one or the one you sell the most of. You know, White
Yeah,
Labs
they
just
keep it
had,
real. Yeah.
White Labs had a
No.
ton.
Yeah, I get it, man. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
There you
Wow.
go. Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
Sorry.
So
It's on low
yeah,
latency.
um yeah, you know what? I was talking with them about that recently. Just the exact same thing that you just said. You know, you have these guys like Omega who they've just I think they just redid their packaging, right? So they have these little kind of cartoon characters
Yeah,
on
cartoony. Yeah,
the
comic
on
booky.
yeah. And they're really cool. Actually, I love the packaging of their yeast. And
It looks like candy and meets a comic book or something.
yeah, it kind of fits really more of like what you would see in the world of craft, brewing. You go to the supermarket or the bottle shop and you see a lot of colorful graphics and stuff. Um, like basically that's how all beer is sold. And Yeah, I think the majority of their businesses, I mean, I think the vast majority of it is commercial brewing. It's not home brewing. Um,
Yes and
they're
no.
Lithuanian.
I think close by. You know, I think they're out there in the Midwest or something. I'm not trying to argue, but I think if it's close enough, you're going to make the
Yeah,
most money off the nickel and diming. But it's liquid yeast, so they want to do those big. You're right, $1,000 batches to commercial breweries that have 10-barrel systems that are outside their probably whatever 60-mile radius.
right,
I would
right,
think.
yeah.
I would think.
Um, yeah, but yeah, going back to the original thing we were talking about, yeah, I hope it works out. I hope we find some good yeast and that video, look out for that video when it comes out. It's sure to do poorly. The more effort we put into our videos, the less people ultimately watch them and
Say
something
with me. Say with
unfortunately.
me. I told you about
But
Sunday,
whatever.
right? I told you about Sunday, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maury
yeah.
no called no show. We were supposed to do the bacon maple beer. Just
Yeah,
no call no
right.
show. And then he posts 15 obnoxious stories of him getting blackout drunk to his Instagram story. So I'm just like, all right, let's just top 5 beginner videos or top 5 beginner mistakes. It's doing better than any video I've ever done. It's got like 4,500 views in 24 hours. And then I put out like
Yeah,
how to, save the world bombs, how to make the best beer of all time. Here's my whole house, yada, yada, yada. And I do want to show off pretty much how we make the videos and stuff. And you told me you watch it, and I appreciate that because, the YouTubers want to see kind of the workflow and what's behind the curtain. Bombed.
yeah.
Bombed.
Right, yeah.
Capital B,
Right.
man. bombed.
Right.
And then you just get on the camera and you're like, hey, top 10 things to buy for $20 or top 5 mistakes, or which is all good stuff because I think I know what I'm talking about. And people are like, yeah, like that. You can't read like a John Palmer book anymore. You can't read like a book about water that's that thick. I mean, you can, but like just brew.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yep. Totally.
so I made the video and I saw Maury at the bar a couple nights ago and I was like, what's up, fuckface? And he's like, and I was like, hey man, like, he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I know called no showed. It was my girlfriend's birthday weekend. I was like, that's cool, but you know, just communicate next time. And I was like,
Right.
but you know, the joke's on you, man. It's the best video we've ever done in terms of views. And I didn't have to pay you $50 or $75 or whatever. So,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, cheers to CH.
The
Thanks, Thomas Knoll.
our strawberry lemon saison video did really well on that. They filmed that. Ross and Emmett filmed that.
That was a great
while
video.
I was on vacation. We'll do that on my way out the door. I popped into the office to grab something. I saw a case of Pink Natty and Truly strawberry something or other in the refrigerator at the office, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck is this? What are you guys doing with this?"
Yeah.
And Lawson says, "Oh, we're doing a strawberry lemon saison." I'm like, "Oh man," because they asked me what I thought they should brew before I left, and I said, "You know what? I don't care. I trust you guys. Just make it sweet." They said, "Yeah, we're doing strawberry lemon saison." I said, "Oh Jesus, dude, this is gonna be horrible. Nobody wants to see that." Everybody wanted to see it.
Your video's crushed.
wrong.
And he's eating the lemon through the rind
Well,
straight
you know,
out of the gate. I was like, dude, I'm gonna throw
Yeah.
up. That's as gnarly as me eating a tomato or something. That
Okay,
was
so
epic.
our new theory. Well, so we have a theory based on that video, in the success of the video. I think the thumbnail is really good, but then the other theory is maybe people in the comment section can weigh in on this. Stupid human tricks. Stupid human tricks. That really is where the real views are. True or not?
I was gonna ask you if you've ever
Ross
heard.
eating an entire lemon, peeling off. Kind of a stupid human trick.
Is that a
People
TikTok
seem to
or is
like
that
it.
is that a 20-minute view or a 20-minute video?
That is the opening scene to that video, the strawberry lemon video.
No, I know that was.
Sure, yeah.
That was like the first
Yeah,
impression
sorry.
of like.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that whole 6, 12, 24 thing though? Have you heard the whole like 6, 12, 24 club?
No.
All right, so it goes like this, and we think we're gonna make that video, and I could pull this off. So it's in a 24-hour period, and there's 3 things. It's drinking beers, eating donuts, and running miles, and you get to choose 6, 12, or 24. And like, do you want to run 6 miles, drink 12 beers, and eat 24 donuts, or do you want to run 12 miles, drink 24 beers, and eat 6 donuts? So I think we're going to make this video. And I think me and Donnie are the only people that could pull it off. And it's going to take forever to edit and probably 3 cameras, but I want to do this. And I'm going to do it this way. 6 donuts, 12 miles, 24 beers. And the beers are just like, whatever, Coors Light or Budweiser or White Claw. I would do Budweiser. Bottle.
Yeah. Okay.
Could you
That'd
do
be
this
natural
video? Natty Light, not Natty Ice.
light. Yeah, natty light. I'd do the lowest AB thing I could do. I mean, could I do the video? Could I do the challenge? Potentially, I would do it in a different way. I would not. I would do 6 beers, 12 miles, and 24 donuts, baby.
Yeah?
That's what I would do. Yeah.
I've never heard it that way, but I believe you. You could eat 24 donuts in 24 hours?
Oh, yeah, of course, absolutely, man. No
man.
problem. Yeah.
You know,
How many
if I'm
calories are in a donut?
300, 400,
That's a lot.
I'm with elementary. I
Have
think
to
I
be like pretty.
elementary saying just go for 24 miles. I could I mean, that's pretty much a marathon, and marathon's 26.2. I would probably do 24. And it's not a marathon, so you could walk a little bit as long as you covered 24 miles. And then Everything else is smooth sailing. 12 pack, 6 donuts. Members only jacket. NBC, come on down. But I want to make the video of it because, yeah, Krispy Kremes are a little bit smaller. I would allow Krispy Kreme. How long do you have? 24 hours elementary, which pretty much means 18 hours because you're going to sleep 6 miles of that. 24 miles just to pack. Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, check it out. Let me put it in the chat. 12, 6.
Dude, I just feel like the hangover from the beers would just be, you know, I'd rather have the hangover from the donuts.
Would you get a hangover from the donuts? Donuts, beer.
I feel like I would, dude. That many, I feel like you'd wake up the next day feeling like, oh, dude, I just ate 2 dozen donuts yesterday.
Whoa!
I don't know what that would feel like, but
bro, there's a 6, 12, 18, 24 one too. Whoa! Plot twist. I mean, this is like a real thing going on. It's like a new thing. People are legitimately trying to do this. Like it's a marathon or an Ironman or something. What's the 18?
man, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by your running habit. What kind of miles you put in on a weekly basis?
20 miles a week. 20 miles a week. We'll do like
How many?
20 miles a week. So we'll do like 6, and then like a big one. But I have a really good running partner. I run with Donnie, and he's 170. I'm about 210. We're 6'1", and he's got this Swedish blood. He's got like this, you know, ever living strong. His dad looks like he's younger than him. His grandmother's 103. 103.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And okay. Well, this one says you have to jerk off. This is fucking weird. Jerk off, run miles, drink beers, and eat donuts. You can choose which one. Oh, that's a joke. The 6, 12, 18, and 24. We're not doing that. The other part of it is jerking off. That's stupid. This is 12 times in a day. I think I'd die. I don't even think that's possible. It's not possible. If I jerk off once, I have to take a nap.
You'd lose a bit of your life force probably.
This isn't
take a couple.
There's
a year
no
off,
way. The 6, 12, 18, 24 is jerking off, miles run, donuts eaten, beers you have to drink. Everybody Google it. Everybody pull it up. There's a million articles. Some of them are actually serious. The 6, 12.
Image search only.
Yeah. You pull it up. It's just pictures of Homebrew for Life and Clawhammer Supply. Me and Emmett. Citrus Mag. There is no way masturbation or sex should be a part of this. This thing's going to get flagged. This is funny if you pull it up. It's got like Nike sponsoring it and shit. There's just no way. I'm sticking with the 6, 12, 24. Forget the 18 part out of it. There's a lady in the house. There's a lady in here. What up, Smooth 562? We got one more beer. We're coming down to the wire. Anybody got a couple more questions for Kyle while he's on? I know it's a little bit. Are you? It's 10 o'clock there, right? Yeah, we started. It's 10:30 there. Do you live close to your house or the studio?
Yeah. My office. The office is about like a block. I walked over here from my house, so.
Oh, there you go. You're good. All right, grab another beer. I'll be right back. Hold it down.
Thanks. Hold it down. Oh, okay. I'll hold it down, and then you come back and you hold it down because I won't get another beer. Yeah, I think it is a little weird that brewing channels have like mostly male subscribers, like 99%. I would assume that more women would brew beer. I think historically that was how that's how it was. But and I feel like a lot of women brew now. Maybe they just don't watch brewing videos on YouTube. I don't know.
I gotta come
Who
clean. I gotta
knows?
tell you something.
What's up?
Coming clean.
You see,
You know what I used
you
today?
coming clean?
I'm coming clean. You know what I used today for the first time was Yeast. The yeast where you like you crack the little, you pop the little bag in there.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Oh yeah, like the Smack Pack.
The Smack Pack.
I haven't used that. I haven't used one of those in a long time.
Today was my first time. I've always just been a White Labs guy, but just for the record, I put it in the chat. White Labs 2 headquarters are San Diego and Asheville, which is coincidentally where Kyle and I are talking to each other from. But yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Why yeast? And I'm trying to I'm scared. Like I don't know if remember those little candies growing up, with those little bomber things with sodium, and you crack it and you throw it and it explodes. Like I don't know if I was gonna hit it too much, or the bag was gonna explode. But we used it and ship shape.
Yeah.
Feels like
It's
the
a thing. They
first
work.
time.
All right. All right. I'll be right back.
All right, we're coming down to the wire, guys. Anybody got some what's going on? Eric Boone. Didn't even think of the time zones. San Diego and Asheville, North Carolina. So we couldn't be any more polar opposite unless you're out there with Apartment Steve up there and up there. Steven is up there. When you're talking Vermont and Maine, you're in a fart bomb pouches. Yeah. What's up, Josh Lamb? What's up, Brunch? Shout out to 94 people here right now. We'll do a Mantor beer chug. And then I need to get out of here and watch the Padres get destroyed by the Dodgers again. I've used several of those. Had great results so far. Shout out to Wayward Brewing. Thanks, Barrage. Smack Packs are the great. Jonathan Elliott, he's the brunch. I know a few women breweries. Yes, sometimes I'm worried I'm going to pop the packet instead of the activator. It looked weird. I popped it all. It's like a packet within a packet. You don't want that going into your fermenter. I kind of looked at it. I was like, what? Is this like a sandwich bag? But I hope my thing's good. I've got the London Ale. The good thing about doing an English ale, it's probably the most universal yeast packet you could use. I mean, you could use White Labs London Ale. You could use white yeast, whatever I use today, 1028. But if I didn't have that stuff, I probably just would have used Safe Ale 04 or 05. Or 05. All right, one more. Is Pony out of here? Later, Pone. Later, Brunch. All right, last one. Or 6 more. Who knows? Who knows? There he goes. There he is. Where's my daddy-o? Aubrey Hire still holding. All right. Jonathan Elliott. Barrage Mill Tone. Brewmill, what's up, man? I was wearing your hat the other day, man. Fuck the Cubs. Go Dodgers. What up, Masso? Masso in the house. First time brewing. What's up, Austin? How are you, man? Usually it's me once a week, and then somebody will be on. I know that when it's somebody that comes on, we kind of neglect the chat, but that's just kind of how it is. We used to do kind of more of the Spotify podcast thing, but it just kind of flared out. It was this is just kind of up and running. We could turn it on. It can rock and roll. Kyle, are you there?
Yeah, buddy.
Cool, my man. So shout out to everybody that's here. This is without question the most people we've had and the most people we've had consistently. And big shout out to Kyle. I know it's a little bit later on your end, man. So I really appreciate this, man. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, bud, it's all good. Yeah.
Are you going to get Homebrew Challenge on? Angus Pickering. He already did have Homebrew Challenge on. Where does he live? Something tells me
They're
it's
probably asking you, right?
Homebrew Challenge.
They're asking you or me.
I've never talked to that guy. I've never talked to... Yeah. I was kind of weird when I started doing the Homebrew for Life stuff. I didn't talk to anybody because I just didn't know how it worked. I didn't want to bug anybody. I recently started talking to Larry Barbecue, Not me. Clawhammer's already had him on. Angus Pickering. You gotta watch more Clawhammer videos, bro. Questions that have already been done, Braj. But no, is Martin a pretty cool dude, Kyle?
Yeah, Martin's awesome. Yeah,
He seems like a super
Martin's
nice
super
guy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge he did was just like absolutely insane. I mean, like the dude has a full-time job. He's a like a
IT.
software engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he works with some really old like this really old programming language, I guess, at IBM, like that serves their mainframe. And so he does that full time. Um, he has a kid, he's married, and he shoots, he
Wow.
brews, films, and then edits the video for the beer, a beer every single week. He did that for like 2 years.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I know.
It's
Especially
nuts.
if he's got bad hangovers. He probably doesn't because it'd be impossible if he did.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So how'd you guys get in touch with each other? Still trying to figure out this whole like
Uh,
networking thing.
actually, it's actually a funny story.
Let's hear it.
So we were, I think I was at home, like, I was watching YouTube. I was scrolling through YouTube, and I saw a thumbnail for a new video, and I thought it was my video. I thought it was our video because the thumbnail looked exactly like this style. We were kind of doing this pretty consistent style of thumbnail just for a quick minute there. And I was like, okay, wait, that's a new video that we have out. That's cool. Wait a second. I know nothing about this video. What is going on here? And then I realized it was Martin's. It was a different channel, somebody else's channel. And it looked like he had just like straight up copied our thumbnail. And I got a little salty about it. I was like, man, what? This is not cool because this people are going to think that this is our video and click on it, but it's going to be somebody else's video.
Sure.
So for a second there, I thought, and I showed Emmett, and I was like, man, I'm gonna give this guy a piece of my mind. But then I looked at his channel. I was like, holy shit, man,
They're
this
all the
guy's gonna
same.
brew. Yeah, I was like, hey, this guy's gonna brew, 99 beers, and he had already done like 25 at that point. I said, this is actually pretty cool. This is an insane project. I have mad respect for what he's doing, and it's cool, and the videos were good. So yeah, that's how we linked up originally. Um, I reached out to him instead of saying like, "Oh, dude, what the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Hey, man, saw your videos are pretty cool."
That's rad. We got
Yeah.
something from Korinsky. You should look into twin casting off platform in case YouTube bans alcohol streams. There's no way they could actually prove that because we are drinking apple juice right now and we're also drinking non-alcoholic beer. So good looking out, but
Yep.
fear factor might work somewhere else. That's a good story, man. That's a good story. So does he live in the States or?
Yeah. He actually lives in Cary, North Carolina. He lives right down the road. It's not right down there. It's like 4 hours from us, but he lives, relatively
That's crazy.
close to us. So that's how he ended up in the video. A couple of our videos he's been in. Well, one of them actually he's been in person. He drove over here
And that was
and
the
we
first
brewed a
time
beer
you
together. It was
met?
fun.
Yeah, and that was the first time you guys had met in person was the day you guys shot?
Yeah, well, that was the second video we did together. The first one was like the homebrew, like expert versus slackers video we did.
Yeah, so you
Where
guys,
Ross.
those were both this year. I mean, it's as of pretty recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you
Yep.
think he's going to do after he does all the homebrew challenges? I mean, where does the channel kind of evolve from there? Because he's got.
Well, he's finished he's done. He's done his 99th beer. He's already done. So he's kind of gonna just kind of move on and do some more random type stuff.
Got it.
Yeah. Dude, what I want to know is, there's a limited number of brewing channels out there, but I'm curious what other people watch outside of brewing channels. Like, what are the general like broad categories of videos? Like, are you into cars? Are you into camping? Do you watch cooking videos? Do you watch hiking videos? What kind of stuff the people who watch your channel, my channel, whatever are into? I'm curious about that. And then also, um like you, Casey, specifically, like do you have like what kind of non-brewing and yeah, like what kind of non-brewing channels do you watch? Specifically, like I'm looking for more stuff, just like funny, entertaining stuff. This is partially I want to know what we should put in our videos that's non-brewing related. And then the secondary goal of the question is like, what should I be watching to entertain myself?
My favorite YouTube channel by far, which kind of created the whole inspiration for me, was Cinemassacre. Hopefully, there's maybe one person in here that watches the Angry Video Game Nerd. Do you know of it, Kyle? AVGN.
No, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna write this down.
He pretty much, in my mind, him and Bam Margera created the whole YouTube kind of platform. And what I mean by that is that Angry Video Game Nerd was making these home videos before YouTube was even around in 2005. So he had a website and he'd make these videos of him his character is this angry video game nerd that plays Nintendo games, like the most difficult games I remembered from growing up, like Simon's Quest and Friday the 13th and all these really shitty games that weren't on Game Genie. And his characters, he's just like this vulgar kind of like, fuck this. But he's a nerd, kind of like Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds. And he's never not done that. So I think the channel now has like 5 million subscribers. And he's never gone on a political rant. He's never done anything outside of this. And when YouTube came out, he just took all of his old videos and he put them on YouTube now, and now his channel's crushing. And then I don't watch Bam Margera or whatever, but like I grew up with the whole like Jackass stuff, and I remember like you know who Casey Neistat is, the guy that's from the East Coast that like
yeah
okay, so
totally.
If you watch Casey Neistat and if you look at like Bam Margera from when I was in high school, he's legitimately just like, hey, today we're in like Rio de Janeiro with Bob Burnquist, and they're holding their camera. They've got like a handy cam. He's like, hey, today we're just gonna like bomb a hill or like skate through cars. I was like, Bam Margera was the original guy just to be like, hey, I'm gonna grab a camera and like film everything. And same with Angry Video Game Nerd, Cinemassacre. And to me that was like the forefathers of like, hey, we're gonna make home videos. People are going to think we're stupid. But maybe not everyone's going to think we look stupid. And maybe we can get more confident looking stupid where it like becomes a thing. And I don't watch, like reruns of Jackass or whatever, but I'll always know it as that. Like these guys created the whole like YouTube platform of just where any Joe Schmo could just like, hey, let's film a sketch. Hey, let's film a tutorial. Hey, let's film an oil change. Hey, let's try to be funny. Hey, let's try to make food. These were the two channels like I remembered that were like, holy shit, these guys aren't trying to make it in Hollywood. They're not trying to kiss everybody's ass. They're legitimately just in their own little world holding a camera and like filming it.
Right.
So to answer your question, my favorite YouTube channel,
Cinemassacre.
Cinemassacre, and I think you would love it because I think he's probably
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so and I steal a lot, influenced, inspired, whatever the word is, but like when I started Homebrew for Life, you're trying to figure out like how to be on camera, yada yada yada, and I knew like every song we use is from a retro video game from the 90s. And I hit up people.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of people that just cover some of my favorite video games, and I hit them up, and like I'm stolen from the person that stole from the person that stole from the person. And they're like, yeah, give me a shout out, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, because video game music is all about mood. Is it super happy? Is it depressing? Are we celebrating? Is it inspirational?
Yeah, true.
Is the king coming to the castle and we're stuffing food in our mouth? Am I down and out? It's all about mood. There's no vocals. So I kind of stole Cinemassacre's vibe in that regard. Like every song in the back of Homebrew for Life is a retro video game from the 80s or 90s in some form. It's not an 8-bit form, but it might be in like techno form or symphony mode or classical mode.
Right.
And then as far as like being like kind of like act like a bully or a jock on camera, I got that pretty much from just watching WWF growing up. You know, like anytime they interview
Sure.
anytime they interview a WWF guy, they have to be like in bully mode. And the reason they do that is because it retains viewership. It's like, you know, like today we're gonna, you know, it's like, okay, the reason they do that, if they're just like, hey, like today we're gonna beat this guy's ass, yada yada yada, people are gonna change the channel. But if I get into that like kind of, if I get into that like WWF, Ric Flair, Randy Johnson thing, and like sometimes me and my friends are just kind of like that when we are having a good time and get drunk, and we're just, you know, a drunk version is already the exaggerated version of yourself, and it's like let's just stay in that. Let's just stay in that. Like today we're gonna. That's pretty much Homebrew for Life.
It's all making sense now. I get it, dude.
Yeah, so that
makes sense.
Macho Man, Randy Savage, Cinemassacre.
I was just gonna say
beer.
The cream rises to the top. Gene.
Yeah, just like that. The reason that they do that is because, you know, you watch Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers after a Super Bowl, and they're just like, "Hey, great game. Hey, how are you?" It's like, dude, come on, man. Tell us how you really feel. Like, give me that Macho Man. Like, hey, it's a great game. Team played good. Right. They scored more points than us tonight. You know, we didn't play, you know, full 4 quarters. It's like, nah, dude, like, go for it, man. Like, and they can't because they're all PR'd out. But that's pretty much what like Homebrew for Life is. It's like I take retro video game stuff, mix it with beer, a lot of retro video game stuff, and then try to act like failed WWF kind of characters. And that's and that's Homebrew.
Oh man, two things. Number one, if you haven't listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, I don't regularly listen to that podcast, but I did listen to the interview that he did with Jake the Snake Roberts.
That was heavy,
talked
man.
A lot about Andre the Giant. Yeah, dude, that was
sad.
crazy.
That was super sad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a little sad, but that was
shit in the bathtubs and stuff because he can't fit on a toilet.
Exactly. Yeah, man, that's a crazy. And then there's a new Andre the Giant documentary out with the kind of features a lot of like Hulk Hogan footage and whatnot. That was pretty cool. I think that was maybe Netflix or something. And then moving on to a lighter topic, Smooth McGroove. Do you know that YouTube channel?
Love him. I've seen him in the airport. I saw him in the airport. Yeah.
Really? No, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
He looks the same. Long, luscious hair, baby face, little bit of facial hair. Smooth McGroove for what
folks who don't know, he does like vocal covers. I think he was the first dude that the acapella versions where it's just like him on like a Brady Bunch style screen.
Yeah, 8
he
screens.
Does like video game music covers.
Yeah.
And I think he was the first guy to do that. I mean, he was the first person I ever saw to do that. And this was, this is easily like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
Now that's pretty common to see videos like that, but he only does video game music. So good, really good.
He kills it. He went through some depression. He's kind of open about it. I don't really like bringing too much of the personal stuff that went out, but he took a while off and now he's back. But I think it's only like he's, made it so it could just be all like, pretty much Patreon, OnlyFans type stuff. But
that's cool.
I did see his update, his last video back, and I mean, he's probably got 10 million subscribers at some point. That's probably like, dude, this is, it's cool, but everywhere you go, people are you that guy? Are you this guy or this guy or that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's cool about the homebrew, the homebrew community. It's like, we can go anywhere. And if somebody does, they're like, hey, are you Kyle or CH from Clawhammer? You're like, yeah, I am. Like, yes, I am. Like you're in my picture, but if you get it 1,000 times a day, it's like, dude, man, nobody wants that. There's nobody on planet Earth that wants that.
I saw somebody that just mentioned Smooth McGroove's Mike Tyson cover. I'm gonna check that one out.
Dude, he kills it all.
Like recent. Yeah. Ross probably gets approached by people. Ross gets when he worked in the tasting room in New Belgium. He said he'd like maybe once a week or so somebody would come up to him and ask him if he was the dude from the videos.
That's awesome.
I've had that happen several times.
Do you like it?
Several times recently.
Do you dig
It's
it?
a little awkward. Like, yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I would hate to be an actual like
Celebrity?
famous person, like a
Yeah.
movie star, like
Yeah.
celebrity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a dude at like just completely randomly at this lake, down in South Carolina. Man, I was pretty hungover actually, and I was helping load some like boats up to canoe out to this island to camp, and I was just like, dude, I hadn't eaten anything. I'd only had coffee. I was hungover. It was like probably 1 p.m. and I was cracked out, and some dude was like
Let
kind
me
of
take a
hollering at me.
picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
And I was
over
just
here.
thinking, yeah, right. And I was like, "Oh my God, dude, this is why you would never want to be famous because right now is the last point at which like I would want to be talking to a stranger."
Your belly's
But
hanging
anyway,
out and your shirt's off, and he wants to take a picture of you at the lake.
right.
No, and we complain
Yeah,
about
imagine
like
if people were just
it's horrible. I mean, we don't complain, but we
yeah.
talk about strategy and how to get what videos to do next. But on the other side of it, it's like I wouldn't change. And I'm not saying this to say it because I'm just live or whatever now. I wouldn't change anything like about I would change some things about my life. I wish, I ran more and, didn't drink as much on certain nights, but like I wouldn't change Homebrew for Life for like Joshua Wiseman's channel. I wouldn't change it for like a $5-10 million channel. Like I love that it's like it's so small and not it's kind of underground. It's like really kind of underground. And as soon as you get to you're at 100,000 subscribers, which is pretty much my goal.
Yeah.
And after that, if I ever get to 100,000 subscribers, I'm changing my name to Kaiser Soze, and I'm moving to Mexico, and I'm starting a 3-barrel brewery. If I had 1 million subscribers, it's never going to happen. No brew channel will ever have it. But if I did, I would get cancel cultured. The bigger you are, the more like PC and molded you have to be, and the nothing you are, I can say whatever I want. I mean, I can't like go off the Richter with talking about politics or race or religion or gender, but like I can say some off the wall shit. You can't do that if you have 5 or 10 million subscribers. You have people, you have lawyers and people telling you what to
Yeah,
say
true.
and how. I would never want that. I would never want that. And if I did have
Yeah.
that, I'd fuck it up in a day. It doesn't matter if I was 25 or 36 or 45 or 80 years old. I'd fuck it up because I'm just stupid like that. So
Yeah.
we talk about making moves and getting views, but like I would never change Homebrew for Life for any other channel in the world. I live by myself. I don't own a house. I don't own property, but like I could do whatever I want. I could do not whatever I want, but like I'm gonna go out and watch the Padres lose right after this. No one's gonna be like, "Come home, you've been drinking too much again." Like I could do whatever I want. I don't need a roommate.
Right, right.
Like
Yeah.
but it took 5,000 hours of editing and the support from everybody in here and, the merch and the super chats and the yada, yada, yada for it to work. But I love it. I love it a lot. So,
Yeah, you mentioned Joshua Wiseman. What are the that I assume that's a channel that you like?
no, it's a channel I can't stand after I watch his.
No, you can't stand it.
Well,
Okay.
he made a beer
What if
video.
like
But
oh, okay,
he's like a
gotcha.
famous cooking guy, but he made a shitty beer video, and it's everything that like no veteran brewer stands for. You can tell
Really? Okay.
you.
What
I'll send you the video, and if you type in Kyle, if you clear your cookies and your cache, if you type in how to make beer, it shows up. It shows up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like he's got 5 or 10 million subscribers. He could be like, hey, how to play golf or skateboard, and just be like, hey, like
Yeah.
keep your eye on the ball and swing the bat real hard, and it's going to be #1 because he's already got that many. But people that play baseball
Sure.
are like, dude, you don't know shit. And you could just look at his
Right.
video, and I'll send this to you. But you're like, you Googled all this shit that morning. It's like, hey,
Yeah, right.
how to make beer. It's a glass carboy, brand new system. He's making a saison, and in 10 seconds in the video, he's like, I just want to let you guys know I'm making a beer video today, but like I don't drink beer. I don't like beer. And I'm thinking like, why the fuck did you say that? Like what?
And it's gonna be the #1 beer brewing video on YouTube.
That's my problem with it. That's my problem with it.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
get it. Yeah, sure.
is if somebody watches this video, people are gonna be like, dude, I'm not gonna stick around with homebrewing. The methods sucked, the equipment sucked, and the recipe sucked. So
What about speaking of just like cooking channels, good cooking channels, Matty Matheson. Do you ever watch any of his videos?
can't do it. I can't watch a 400-pound guy stuff his face. I watch Sam the cooking guy and Martha Stewart.
Okay, well,
I like Matthew
yeah,
Matheson because I get it. It's kind of just like screaming and yelling, but like, dude, are you allergic to t-shirts? Like, you're grossing me out, man. Like, you gotta. I can't watch a 500-pound guy have a premature death for my own quick, cheap thrill. You know, I like Sam the cooking
sure.
guy and Martha Stewart.
Okay. Martha Stewart. All right. Yeah, you and
Bruce
Sarah
show.
Flora. She's into Martha Stewart. So, dude, I love Matty Matheson, man. I love Just a Dash. I love that series, Just a Dash. The first season is so funny, and that kind of changed how we made videos. And a little bit, we started adding elements of just like kind of like brief sadness into the videos, which we haven't done as well as they do. It's weird stuff, and I love it, man. But the other thing I was gonna say is it seems like you're kind of like a health conscious dude. You run a lot. You're not into 500-pound people stuffing their face on YouTube
Nah,
or whatever.
I don't want to see tweakers
Is that
tweak.
a
I don't want to see fat people.
I see tweakers?
Yeah, I don't want to see people with lung cancer smoking cigs. Like, I don't know. Everyone turns a blind eye to American health. 99-cent cheeseburgers on every corner, and it's like the #1 cause for like premature death, way gnarlier than
Right,
COVID.
man.
Or
To be honest,
I
I'm
don't know.
it my
It's just
go
a
ahead, go
silly
ahead.
channel for me. There's a lot of those channels where there's just like a 500-pound dude eating barbecue, and like I get it that he's funny, and I get it that he's got to eat a plate of food that's like that big, but to me that's like watching an alcoholic wake up in the morning and drink like a bottle of Evan Williams.
Yeah, he was on Joe
But I
Rogan
got some Evan Williams.
recently,
I'm
and
just kidding. I'm kidding.
right. And he was talking about Action Bronson, who's like a similar dude. He's
Yeah,
a chef. He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
big dude, and Action Bronson's like gone like lost a lot of weight, and I guess Matty Matheson's he's kind of been on the same. Um, he kind of talked about it. He's like, yeah, I kind of want to lose some weight, but I'm so busy. I have these other things going on. Like pandemic rolled around, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to put food on the table because like a lot of my work involves these traveling and whatnot.
Sure.
But yeah, it sounds like he's going down that road. He's kind of tried to like, change his diet a little bit, maybe start working out or whatever.
You have to
Um,
sooner or later. You ultimately it comes down
yeah,
to like it's like a different version of like getting sober. You have
right.
to.
Yeah. And so like I've sat here and drank, this is probably my third beer or so this evening, but
This is my fifth.
and it might
I'm gonna go out and
surprise
drink
people,
five
but
more.
like I don't yeah, but I don't. Like I can't really do that anymore. It doesn't make me feel good. And I try to be pretty healthy, myself. Like I work out almost every single day. If I don't go to the gym, I go running. Um, I could definitely probably if I had to, man, could I run 24? I feel like stuff might start falling off, like wheels would fall off if I tried to run 24 miles, but I could definitely go out and run 12 tomorrow.
What about
Um,
have you ever done a marathon?
no, I've never done a marathon. I don't really like, I'm not really into racing. I like,
It's
I
not
like
a race.
running.
It's more of kind of a mental. Running a marathon is like the most frustrating thing you'll ever go through because after like 18 miles, your body shuts down, and it's like this mental game because you've got 8 more miles to go, and you start to like skip and like run backwards and like stingray shuffle because like your muscles are going out and you're just like, I
Yeah.
can't quit because so many people are watching. If nobody was watching, oh, I would quit. Like I would call an Uber to
Yeah.
pick me up. But like there's
Yeah.
80-year-old ladies doing it and you're just like, dude, we have to figure this out. Forget about the time. We have to finish. It's like the last scene from Cool Runnings. We're walking through this thing. We're walking
Yeah.
through this thing.
Right.
Well, hey, we're coming down to it. 3 hours. Kyle, would you do this again?
Oh yeah, 100%, absolutely.
Trevu in the house, the Australian. Maybe I can meet Trevor over at Pizza Port. I got to meet a buddy over here at 8:15. Kyle, I want to thank you so much for your time. Do you feel like this was 3 hours?
No, man, just it flew by.
I know. And you only had 3 beers, huh?
Yeah, that's how I roll, man.
If we do a collab, what are we doing?
Well, it's
seltzer.
on the books, man. Collabs on the books.
seltzer.
It's not in pen yet because we're so behind schedule. But yeah, I was thinking like a 2% ABV hard seltzer.
I'm down. A negative 2%.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brew Show. Great show tonight. Austin walked in the last 3 miles during the Marine Corps Marathon just to get it done. Shout out to Austin. I've been there. Tom Alvarado, good times. Wish I knew you started earlier. Sorry about that. I don't know if he's talking about us starting tonight or Clawhammer in general, starting in 2011-ish. Elementary Brew Code. Shout out, man. Always a pleasure, Brian. Thomas Knoll, bust out the log. No one knows what the log is. Kyle, anything else? What should we plug? We've got your YouTube channel in the link in bio, even though I think everyone else is probably subscribed to it.
Go watch the log video. Bust out the log. We did a beer. We made a beer. We brewed it with the log. We got it from Daily Craft and this dude in Brooklyn. We put so much freaking effort into that video. It was one of our earlier videos. Yeah, it's log. It's log, man. Go to our YouTube channel. Check Google YouTube log beer. That's what I'm plugging. Log beer.
All right. And we got the Amarillo Pale Ale. Check that out. I've got that open up in my tab right here. Kyle, I'm going to send you, the log was sick. Log video is awesome. Kyle, I'm going to send you Sin and Massacre. I turned Trent on to him, and Trent was like, I've literally watched every single video. And I want you to, like, the older videos are better because the games are more, he just had more ideas, like the more frustrating games. Like he could do, 15 years ago. Now he's kind of running out of retro video games to freak out and smash his whole room up about. But I'm going to send this over to you and let me know what you think. But this is Homebrew for Life's biggest influence by far.
Okay, sweet. I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right, we're all out of here. Kyle, absolutely. I got to cut out. I want to thank you for your time and everybody that's here right now. Yeah. As always, cheers, eating good, drinking good. And I don't think we said anything that would negate me setting this to private. I think we're good. Pal, thanks again. Tell everybody at Clawhammer I said hello. I'd love to get
absolutely, yeah,
Ross and Emmett.
We'll get somebody else on here next time as well, like Ross or Emmett. That'd be great.
Absolutely. This was I think probably our most viewed Hoppy Hour, and shout out to all you guys, man. Chills Brewmill, chills Clayton Garred, and let's get out of here. All right, that's it. Sweet. Kyle, cheers. Thank you, man.
Thank you.